Welcome to the Fantasy Audiobook. American Comics. Obtains the god of all worlds trading system, and becomes a god. Chapter 81. Several arms grew out of Shi-Yun's body. They were about to grab Shi-Yun and twist her, but they encountered some resistance at the moment of exerting force, and they all turned into petals and fell to the ground. Robin's pupils shook. Her fruit ability actually failed. Natural system. No, even if it was a natural system, it should be the man's body that changed. Why did her ability fail? Escape. Robin thought so, turned her body and was about to leave, but suddenly, she found that her body could not move. The scene in her eyes was rapidly receding, and Robin flew backwards and returned to Shi-Yun. Are you so anxious? Don't you want to find Hades? I don't know what you are talking about. Robin did not admit it at all. It's okay, but I know where the stone tablet recording Hades is. I'll take you there. Quote. Robin was about to speak, and everything went black in front of her. Tisk, I forgot that no one has come in here for a long time. Quote. Shi-Yun had no choice but to activate Angel's healing power with his right hand, condensing a white light ball that was enough to illuminate the surroundings. Robin looked and saw that this seemed to be a basement, or a tomb would be more appropriate. Can I move? Robin subconsciously turned his head to look at Shi-Yun. What are you going to do? To fulfill your wish, look, this is the stone tablet that you and Crocodile want to find, which records the information of Pluto. Go and see it. Robin looked in the direction Shi-Yun pointed, and sure enough, on the opposite wall, there was a stone tablet, and it was recorded in ancient characters. She found it. Robin ran over excitedly and was about to interpret it, but suddenly stopped, frowning and saying nothing. Are you afraid that I will use you to interpret the historical text? I can tell you now that it records the location of Pluto, and the location is in the country of Wano in the New World. You will know it by yourself. Quote. You can also read the historical text. Robin suddenly felt like she had seen a relative. Her vigilance and precautions against Shi-Yun instantly dropped a lot. I'm not from O'Hara, just take a look. Robin turned around. Since this man didn't want to say more, she would interpret the historical text first. The more Robin read, the more shocked she was. Everything recorded in it was really as Shi-Yun said, recording the specific location of Hades now. She couldn't help but get excited. There was actually another person in the world who could interpret the historical text like her. It was so exciting. Have you finished reading? Robin nodded. I've finished reading. You're right, Hades is indeed in Wano country. If you want to understand the blank 100 years of history, you need to collect 30 historical texts, including 4 signpost historical texts and 9 intelligence historical texts. Single quote. Signposts. Are they the signs leading to the final island of Raftel? Yes. Where are they? Shi-Yun looked at her. If you want to know, go find them yourself. Robin was speechless. You obviously know so much information, why do you want her to search for it by herself in confusion? I'm not interested in the blank 100 years of history. Then how do you know how to interpret the historical text? Robin didn't believe this explanation. I saw it from somewhere else. Okay, it's time to go. Shi-Yun took her to the palace. Who is this? Nami asked curiously. Your new crew member. New crew member. She's going to join us. Nami looked at Robin in surprise, but Robin was even more surprised than her. I didn't promise to board your ship. Then be prepared to spend your whole life looking for them all over the sea. Shi-Yun walked aside and sat down. Do they know where the stone tablets are? Robin looked at Nami in disbelief. What stone tablets? Nami was puzzled. Robin saw that Nami was not lying. If you believe me, stay. If you don't, go. Robin hesitated, and finally remembered that Shi-Yun knew the whereabouts of the stone tablets, but still wanted her to board the ship, which meant that they might be encountered on the route of this ship. Okay, I agree. Anyway, we have to go out to sea to find the historical text, so why not go directly with them? I haven't agreed yet, Nami shouted. She is a historian and will be helpful for your voyage. Then we have to talk to Luffy. Quote, if he doesn't agree, I'll let him get off the ship and you'll be the captain. Don't be too outrageous. Shi-Yun was resting on a beach chair, thinking about how to gain faith through his own divine domain. If you want faith, you must have believers. If you want believers, you must make them believe, obey, and admire you, and regard you as the only true God and the only Savior. To gain these, Shi Yun must spread his faith and doctrine among the people. But this is too slow, and he doesn't have the heart to do so. It's better to go directly to the big wave. Pirate celestial dragons, be their savior, maybe you can gain their faith. Single quote. In the pirate world, since the establishment of the world government, the celestial dragons became nobles and were called gods, and there has been a tradition of collecting heavenly gold. In addition, the appetite of the celestial dragons is getting bigger and bigger, which has led to many countries being destroyed and leaving their hometowns because of the relationship with the world government and becoming pirates. Even if Roger opened the Great Pirate Era, there are still many countries that are poor and oppressed, and this is an opportunity to collect believers. Shi Yun plans to give it a try. Which test subject should I find first? Empress. When thinking of the character who hates the celestial dragons the most, Empress Hancock popped up in Shi Yun's mind. Okay, let's try her out first. System, can you start the global live broadcast? Reply to the host. The host has the strength of level Godfather, so it can be turned on. Well, I need everyone to see it. Ah, it's best to block the area of Marihoa. Yes. After getting the answer, Shi Yun teleported to the vicinity of the Red Earth continent, turned his back to the direction of Marihoa, and then started the live broadcast. By the way, the group live broadcast was also turned on, making the group members curious to watch. What is this? Den Den Mushi live broadcast, but who is this person? Is the Red Earth continent behind him? Is he in the air? Marihoa, what is he going to do? The villagers of Kokoja village in the East China Sea, after seeing Shi Yun, cheer. Grand Line, Alabasta, Kosa's disbanded rebels, Luffy, Sanji, Chopper, Zoro, Usopp, Blackbeard, Ace at the port. Daughter Island where the Empress Hancock is, the Navy headquarters, everyone discussed after seeing the live broadcast. New World, Fishman Island, Doflamingo, the Four Emperors, Wano Country, Egg Point Island, and other islands and countries, inevitably saw the live broadcast. After getting ready, Shi Yun began to speak. My name is Shi Yun, you can call me the trade supplement. As long as you trade with me, I can fulfill your wishes. For example, I can now clear all the celestial dragons on Marihoa. Quote. As soon as Shi Yun said this, the world was boiling. What is he talking about? This is a celestial dragon. He still says he is a god. He is simply courting death. I guarantee that the 3 admirals of the Navy will be defeated. Haha, another lunatic. Over the past 100 years, countless self-righteous people have challenged the Navy, the world government, and the celestial dragons, but in the end, they are all dead. This young man is simply ignorant of life and death. Whether it is Whitebeard or Kaido, they don't believe that Shi Yun can do it. At the Navy headquarters, Sengoku slammed the table. What is this guy doing? Where's Kizaru? Tell him to stop him. No, the 3 of you go together. Aokiji and Akainu stood up silently. Lieutenant General Suru said, call Marijoa. Yes. Sengoku took out a special Den Den Mushi from the drawer and called the 5 elders of Marijoa to show his attitude. But in the end, no one answered for a long time. I can't get through. Is there something wrong? Sengoku frowned. Don't worry, Kizaru and the others are there. Even if something goes wrong, they can stabilize it in time. You are the marshal and can't leave easily. Alas, it's time to make trouble. Daughter Island, Hancock, you are so brave. It would be great if you can really do it. Fishman Island, Father, he said that he can fulfill any wish. He should be able to let my sister come out and solve that pirate, right? The premise is that he really killed all the celestial dragons. Quote. Sky Island, is this person the one who killed Enel before? It's him, I'm not mistaken. Oh my god, it's really him. He is our savior. In a prison in Wano Country, god of trade, can you help me leave here and defeat Kaido? Yamato held a yellowed notebook in his hand, his eyes full of yearning. Okay, I know you don't believe it, but everyone knows that because of the existence of the celestial dragons, how many countries have been crushed by the celestial gold and have since been destroyed. How many people can't afford to eat now? Why are the pirates on the sea? Why are there so many? Is it because of the great secret treasure that Pirate King Roger mentioned? Isn't it because some people can't afford to eat and can't survive, so they can only go out to sea as pirates to rob others? This world needs to change, and the easiest way is to make the celestial dragons disappear. If they disappear, there will be no celestial gold, and everyone can survive. Even the number of pirates will decrease. Do you want your children to grow up healthy and safe? Do you want pirates to stop invading your homeland? Do you want those corrupt kingdom nobles to be destroyed? Do you fishmen want to go ashore and live in peace with humans? Shi Yun spoke, igniting their anger and hatred after being oppressed by the celestial dragons and the world nobles. Especially those who were treated as slaves, they stood up, raised their hands and roared, shouting to kill the celestial dragons. Inside the Fishman Island, the fishmen had different expressions, some were expectant, some were indifferent, and more were hated by the celestial dragons. Many cadres and members of the Revolutionary Army, such as Dragon and Sabo, were all confused as they looked at Shi Yun, who was talking in the live broadcast. Boss, if he really succeeds, should we continue to do it? Quote. If all the celestial dragons are really dead, the world will definitely change by huge amounts. Other agents such as the Navy and the CP outside were frantically calling the celestial dragons, superiors, and the 5 elders on Mary Hoya. But the Den Den Mushi were about to explode, and no one answered the phone. They even rushed to Mary Hoya in a hurry. After Shi Yun finished speaking, he waited for a while. Okay, it's almost done. Quote. Shi Yun looked at the golden light that flashed by not far away, smiled, then turned around, clenched his fist, and waved his fist at Marihoa. Short kill, serious punch. Shi Yun used the strength that was several times higher than that used to deal with crocodile, and punched out. As for the name of the move, Shi Yun was too lazy to think about it, so he just borrowed from Saitama teacher. After the attack, everyone who watched the live broadcast saw that the highest part of the Red Earth continent and Marihoa on it were like using an eraser to erase on white paper, and they were completely messed up. Because of this punch, the white clouds in the sky flowed at a high speed, and were driven by the powerful fist wind and disappeared instantly, revealing a clear blue sky. This picture is not fake. In other words, all the celestial dragons on Marihoa are really dead. What a joke. The whole world seemed to have been paused, and everyone stood there blankly watching the live broadcast without saying a word. Even the 4 emperors Whitebeard, Shanks, Kaido, Big Mom and others stared with their eyes wide open, motionless. Even they had never thought that someone could really be able to kill all the celestial dragons in an instant. Even the highest part of the Red Earth continent was flattened directly. This level of attack power and destructive power is not even comparable to Whitebeard's Tremor fruit. Because even if the Tremor fruit owner is known for being able to destroy the world, that only refers to the tsunami that can be triggered after the ability is activated, not to mention that Whitebeard's body may not be able to withstand it. But what about Shi Yun? Seeing how relaxed he looked after throwing a punch, you can tell that he didn't use all his strength. This is just his ordinary attack. Quote. Ah, the celestial dragons are dead. All dead. He is really a god. He did it. Woo woo woo. The celestial dragons are dead. I'm so happy. After the extreme silence, there was a crazy explosion. The residents of many kingdoms and islands couldn't help but boil. This is a day that changes fate and history. The sea is truly free from now on. Some people are happy, and some are sad. The celestial dragons are dead, but there are still other world nobles and kings who established the world government together, but now, they are afraid. The celestial dragons are an example. Shi Yun just said that he can fulfill other people's wishes as long as they trade with him, so, if someone really wants to trade with Shi Yun, kill them like the Tianlong people, then they are finished. Quick, quick, quick. Return the Tian, Wang Zhao, Shengjin you collected. No, and last year's and the year before last. Return them all. Appease them. Open the warehouse. Quick, pass it on. From today on, abolish the slavery system. Those who come to work will be compensated. Any amount is fine. Just don't rebel. Boss, I received news that many kingdoms have changed. It seems they are all scared. Then our business. Let's wait and see what happens. Quote. Long sighed. He had worked hard for more than 10 years to plan his career, but he was no match for the power of a punch. Ding. Scarlet Sander applied for a trade. Ding. Inessa Duncan applied for a trade. Ding. Felit Nika applied for a trade. In a short moment, Shi Yun heard trade applications from all over the world. System, screen it and only accept those requests that need help, want to change the country, or have hatred for the world government and the world aristocracy. Yes. Then, shadow duplication. Bang bang bang. Tens of thousands of Shiyun appeared in the air. Choose it yourself, and then complete the transaction. Okay, I'll go here. I'll go to the North Sea. Duplication can also connect to the system and receive transaction prompts. Therefore, after accepting the task, each one teleported away. And these transactions are simple, just kill and it's done. As for the terms of the deal, they all have to become Shiyun's followers and move to his divine domain. Or move people, islands, and surrounding waters together. Here they come. God has sent people. What a powerful ability. This is definitely not a devil fruit. Shiyun said he is a god. In Alabasta, Robin stared at the live broadcast, and then burst into tears. Robin. Nami walked over and patted her on the back. This situation was very similar to when she saw that Arlong and the others were all dead, and she couldn't help crying because of joy. Ding, congratulations to the host, you killed the celestial dragons, CPO, etc., and got a total of 200,000 points. Trading and after sales group. Nami, Shiyun, you are so sudden. Robin is crying. Kanae Kocho, no, why did Shiyun go on a killing spree? Miko Yatsuya, this is called justice. What era is it? There are still slaves. So backward. My Sakurajima, this is the power of God. Wuma, Shiyun is so powerful. Babushima Yako, this punch seems to have destroyed a city in several sections. Blizzard of Hell, Shiyun, who is more powerful now, you or Saitama? Kanae Kocho, wait, Shiyun, when did you reach level 6? Gabriel, level 6, let me see. Really, how did you advance so quickly? Tornado of Trembling, are you cheating? Izumi Uchiha, it seems that I have to work harder. Group leader Shiyun. At Hell's Blizzard, it's hard to say with Saitama, his power growth has no limit, if he doesn't fight me, now he is almost 40 to 60. I'm 40 and he's 60. Hell's Blizzard, hiss. Gabriel, hiss. That bald guy is so powerful. He must be at level 7, right? Tornado of Terror, that B-level Saitama. He is so powerful, how come he is only B-level? Kanae Kocho, Shiyun said he didn't pass the written test when he took the exam. Tornado of Terror. Group leader Shiyun, in addition, I suddenly did this to gain believers. Raphael, followers, are you going to create a heaven? Group leader Shiyun, I already have a divine domain, so if you want to move, you can come to me. Gabriel, no need to thank me for now. Shiyun just said that, but when he reaches the 7th level single universe, Shiyun will find a way to move all the worlds such as the pirate world, the ninja world, the dead world, the Iron Fortress world, the Sakurajima My world, etc. into his own divine domain. Anyway, by then, as he upgrades, the divine domain will also expand, and it will be no problem to put down a few planets. Even, because he completely controls all kinds of physics, nature, and magic in the divine domain, law, etc., enough to simulate the environment of the solar system, and even allow people from different planets to interact with each other. How interesting it is. Below the Red Earth continent. What should we do? Should we go up? How to go up? What should we say when we go up? Say we are here to protect the celestial dragons. Akainu looked impatient. Ah, it seems that we only go back and ask the marshal for his opinion. Aokiji turned and left. Indeed, I don't have the courage to challenge a strong man of this level. Kizaru disappeared in a beam of light. Lieutenant General, maintain order here. Quote, yes, Admiral Akainu. Ding, Yamato sent a trade request. Trading object, Yamato. Trading content, defeat Kaido and open Wano country. Trading conditions to be determined. Ding, Hiyori Kazuki sent a trade request. Trading object, Hiyori Kazuki. Trading content, defeat Orochi and save Wano country. Trading conditions to be determined. Well, these two people. Wano country, right, it's not a big place, it's okay. Shiyun had already turned off the live broadcast when he sent the shadow duplication to various places to complete the transaction. After seeing Yamato and Hiyori Kazuki, he thought of a little ghost, yes, Momonosuke. Apart from anything else, Momonosuke must die. Shiyun teleported to the beginning of the new world, searched with telepathy, and finally found Kinemon and his group near Dressrosa. Judging from the situation, they should have encountered a shipwreck and drifted there, because they looked very embarrassed. According to his experience, it was because they arrived at Dressrosa that they were hunted by Doflamingo and ended up in Punk Hazard. After Shi Yun found their location, he sent them away with an annihilation energy, and then teleported to Wano Country Zhou Jiwen. Just after Shi Yun left, Doflamingo, wearing a pink coat and sunglasses, came to the beach where a violent explosion had just occurred. His face was extremely gloomy. After the explosion, a large pit appeared directly on the beach, and there was no evidence or traces to tell him what happened here. But he thought of a possibility. At this moment, according to the news from all over the country, Shi Yun's duplication had already arrived in many kingdoms and began to clean up the rebels, pirates, or kingdom nobles and others. Everywhere was in chaos. Doflamingo was actually panicking. After all, he had stolen Dressrosa, and some of the previous kings and the remaining people had not died completely, but had been turned into toys. If toys could also be traded with Shi Yun, then he would probably be close to death. The celestial dragons could not withstand Shi Yun's punch, and Doflamingo was not so confident that he could survive Shi Yun's hands. No, we have to go. He flew back quickly and was about to summon his family cadres to temporarily leave here and stay on the sea for a few days. He couldn't really stay and wait to die. Shi Yun's appearance on Ghost Island caused a sensation among the beast's pirates. They looked at Shi Yun, not daring to move at all, fearing that the other party would suddenly punch him. Shi Yun released his own aura, making everyone fall into an illusion world, feeling everything around them, their own perception, life, etc., gradually dissipating bit by bit. Many people were suffocated to death in this illusion. Only a few people with strong spirits and tough hearts are still holding on. Enough! A roar came from the depths of the island, and then a huge amount of figures slowly emerged, first the dragon head, then the dragon body, and finally the dragon tail. Kaido flew to Shi Yun in the form of a blue dragon. Kaido asked, "Someone wants to make a deal with you, and ask you to deal with me, right?" "Yes. Who is he?" "Your daughter, Yamato." Quote. Quote. Rej. He opened his dragon mouth and froze in the air, his huge eyes full of disbelief. He was really filial to his good daughter. "You said that you are not doing your job as the daughter of the 4 emperors, and you are trying to be a hero by imitating the dead Kazuki Oden. I don't know where I picked up a diary, and I was brainwashed while reading it. I began to admire the silly samurai spirit of Kazuki Oden, and began to be with he did the right thing. Before, he had beaten her several times, but it was not enough. Seeing that she was getting older and older, and growing up, her ability to cause trouble was getting stronger day by day. At the very least, Kaido could only lock her up. But you can't call this god over just because of this. This is really going to kill him." Kaido was speechless. "Well, what exactly are you here for?" Kaido asked humbly. He knew very well who he could mess with and who he couldn't mess with. For those who he could mess with, he could be a teacher to them and teach them how to use the Conqueror's color. For those who he couldn't mess with, he should never mess with them when he could kill them. Hesitation, even if the means are a little despicable. For example, he was slashed by Kazuki Oden, and was almost scared to death, and then relied on threatening his subordinates, family, and Wano country to make Kazuki Oden commit suicide. Although Kazuki Oden is not smart, he is indeed very capable, especially after running around with Pirate King Roger outside, he has made more progress. Therefore, Kaido knows very well that Shi Yun is someone he cannot mess with, and even despicable means cannot be used. "How about this, you take your people away from Wano country, and I won't kill you." "Okay, I'll leave right away." Kaido agreed quickly, and hesitation for a second is disrespect for his life. "Well, when I come back, I hope you have left here. By the way, Yamato wants to leave or stay, it depends on her decision." Shi Yun finished speaking, he went to the capital of the flower, and he had to go to Guangyu Rihei. "Yamato, you guy, it's really good." Kaido gritted his teeth, he couldn't hold Yamato anymore. But unfortunately, he dare not now. Because Yamato is now covered by Shi. "You can come out." Quote. Pirates were coming and going, carrying all kinds of treasures. Even when some jewels fell on the ground, they didn't have time to pick them up. Yamato wanted to find someone to ask about the situation, but they didn't have time to pay attention to her. Yamato finally found Kaido, who was drinking. What are you doing? You still know how to ask. What did you do? Don't you know? Kaido didn't even look at her. What did I do? Yamato looked confused. Sighed. Trade. Kaido roared. Trade. Oh oh oh. The god of trade is here. Where is he? Why didn't I see him? Yamato reacted instantly when he heard it, his face full of excitement. Her wish was really heard by the god of trade. Kaido is leaving Wano country, so Wano country can be founded. Great. I'm leaving for now, as you can see, I'm leaving Wano country now. Oh, so you are moving, but can't you lift up the ghost island? Why don't you just take the island away? Huh. Not only Kaido was stunned, but even the pirates around him were stunned. Yes, why don't we just take the island away? In this way, we don't have to work so hard, and we don't have to leave behind many treasures that we can't take away in time. Everyone looked at Kaido. Boss, back. This, moving suddenly, the loss is so big. Okay, don't clean up. Quote. Kaido waved his hand. Oh, boss is awesome. Thank you, Captain. You, get off right now. Kaido pointed at Yamato. Ah, go away, I'll just pretend I don't have a daughter like you. This daughter, what use is there except to trick him? In the end, Yamato was forced to leave Onigashima on her own initiative, and Kaido transformed into a blue dragon again, lifted up Onigashima, and left Wano country. Kazuki Hiyori, who transformed into Kazuki, was in his room, silently praying over and over again according to the method Shi-yun left when she was live streaming to call him. I heard it. Shi-yun appeared beside Hiyori. Lord Shi-yun, you're really here. Kazuki Hiyori was pleasantly surprised. Well, I heard your request and came to help you complete the transaction. Then, are you a duplication? I'm the real body. Thank you, Lord Shi-yun. Okay, let's find the real one. Yes, Shi-yun teleported away with Hiyori and went directly to the general's mansion in the center of the Flower City, where they found Orochi's location. Lord Shi-yun, why are you here? Orochi and his men saw Shi-yun and found that Shi-yun could come to the new world of Wano country from Marihoya in such a short time, which made them more certain of Shiku's strength. Therefore, they knelt down directly. I'm here to kill you. Orochi, your death is coming. Hiyori stepped forward and shouted angrily. Xiaozi, you want to kill me. But why? I've always been good to you. Even until now, I haven't forced you to do things you don't like. Why do you want to kill me? Orochi looked up in disbelief, feeling a deep betrayal in his heart. Obviously, he treated Kazuki very well. I'm not Kazuki, my last name is Kazuki, my given name is Hiyori. Kazuki Oden's daughter. It's you. Orochi understood. It turned out that Kazuki was the daughter of Kazuki Oden who escaped from him. No wonder she hated him so much. You actually lied to me. Orochi regretted it so much. If he had known that Kazuki was Hiyori, he would have killed her immediately and would never leave any trouble for himself. It was just to lie to you. Otherwise, how could I take revenge? Ah, go to hell. Orochi suddenly changed and became the appearance of Yamada no Orochi. This was his fruit ability, and it was also the relatively rare mythical beast species Yamada no Orochi form. Each head represented a life. Every time a head was cut off, the snake head would be one less after the transformation. When all the heads were cut off, the snake would not be far from death. The 8 snake heads of the snake rushed towards Hiyori, trying to devour it, but as soon as the body moved, it froze and could no longer move. How dare you kill someone in front of me? Master Shi-yun, I was wrong. Forgive me. I won't dare to do it again. You have no chance. Shi-yun threw a small ball of Satan's flame at the immobilized snake, letting him experience the feeling of being swallowed by fire. I'll leave first, you wait here. Yes, Master Shi-yun. After Shi-yun left, Hiyori stood aside and quietly watched the snake being slowly swallowed by the blue flames and making a miserable cry. Xiaozi, I was wrong. I was wrong. Let me go. Ah, it hurts. Help. The snake kept asking, but Hiyori was unmoved. When my father died, he stood in the hot water without a word and was scalded to death, while you and Kaido were talking and laughing and drinking while watching. Why didn't you spare his life at that time? Now, why are you so afraid of pain? Aren't you the cruelest and coldest? I thought you really had no heart, but it turns out that you are also afraid of pain and death. Hiyori whispered her inner hatred to Orochi, watching him being swallowed and dissipated by the flames bit by bit. Hiyori, who had avenged her great hatred, suddenly lost her strength and cried on the ground. She had endured humiliation for more than 10 years just for this moment, and she felt an incomparable relaxation that she couldn't explain. No, I have to cheer up, Kaido is still here. Shiyun returned to the sky above Onigashima, looking at the suddenly empty space, and was stunned for a moment. What about Onigashima? Shiyun perceived Yamato nearby and teleported to her side. Yamato. Who called me? Ah, god of trade, Shiyun. Yamato sat on a rock, a little overwhelmed. Her plan for the founding of Wano country only had the first step, which was to drive Kaido away. As for the second and third steps, she hadn't thought it through clearly yet. So, at this moment, she didn't know where to go. Well, where's Onigashima? It was moved away by Kaido. Shiyun remembered that Kaido seemed to be able to take Onigashima flying. Really good, Kaido. Okay, Kaido is gone, and the deal between us is done. Are you leaving? What should I do? Yamato suddenly got nervous. What are you going to do? Don't you know? I don't know what to do to start a country. Yamato was a little embarrassed. How about this, you become the general of Wano country. It just so happened that Orochi died, and no one succeeded him. As for Momonosuke, there was not even ashes left now. Me, shouldn't Kazuki Oden's son be the general? Then can you take over until his son comes back? Besides, Hiyori Kazuki is Oden's daughter, and she also needs your protection. Hiyori Kazuki. Yes, she used to be called Kazuki, and she was a famous courtesan. Ah, I've heard of it, but I didn't expect that she was actually Oden's daughter. In that case, let her be the general. She has no ability and can't protect herself. Is that so? Okay, I understand. Yamato nodded. Let's go meet her. Shiyun took Yamato back to Hiyori's side by teleportation. At this time, Hiyori realized that Yamato had also made a deal with Shiyun and had driven Kaido out of Wano country. This is great. Although Kaido is not dead, Wano country has returned to their hands. Now they just need to wait for their brother to come back, and then they can take over the position of general again. Shiyun said. Yamato will temporarily replace the position of general, stabilize the situation in Wano country, and some remnants left by Orochi. Then after my brother Momonosuke comes back, definitely give it to him. Yamato has no interest in the position of general. Thank you. Hiyori was grateful. Lord Shiyun, can you please help me find where my brother is now? This is another deal. What else can you give? This. I only have my own life. If you need it, Master Yun, I am willing to give it to you. Let's talk about it later. I'm a little busy now, so I'll leave first. Besides, you are already my believers. So I hope you can spread the news that I drove Kaido away and killed Orochi. Shiyun left first after saying that. How to spread it? What is a believer? Yamato scratched his head. Just come out and announce it. Everyone must be told about Kaido and Orochi. As for the believers, they should worship and serve Master Shiwei devoutly. Yuhei thought for a while and replied. I know, Master Shiyun is my god. System, connect to the god's domain. Reply to the host, yes. Well, let the duplication transfer all the people who have completed the transaction, as well as the kingdoms and islands, into the god's domain. Yes, soon, after completing the transaction, all duplications lifted some islands in the pirate world directly through psychokinesis and sent them into the god's domain. By the way, there are also some small islands and sea areas nearby. After all, the ocean is rich in resources. The space in the god's domain is like a super large sphere, which is empty inside, and there are no planets or continents for the time being. Shiyun thought about it and built a planet dominated by the ocean according to the pirate world. The file size is similar to that of the Earth, but now there are fewer islands and more sea water. Shiyun separated the islands that were moved in at random, but the distance was not far, so that they could communicate and trade. At the same time, a sun was created in the middle of the god's domain, arranged according to the position of the solar system, so that people on the planet can live normally. So far, the first planet appeared in the god's domain. Later, Shiyun directly integrated all the planets in the pirate world here. After finishing the god's domain, Pao Yun went to the Fishman Island in the depths of the sea. Are you saying that you can take us to a peaceful world and let our mermaids live on the sea? King Neptune looked at Shiyun, who came over and asked carefully. Yes, that's the new world I created. There aren't many people there yet, and the people who went there are from this world. Let me take you to see it. Shiyun said as he took King Neptune directly to the sea planet in the god's domain. Look, there's no barrier of the red earth continent here, and all the seas are connected. In addition, there are only a few islands here for the time being, and they are all residents who are oppressed by nobles and kings. After you come here, Fishman Island can continue to exist in the deep sea, and then put an island in the sea where you are, so that you can live freely. There are no pirates here, and I will make rules so that humans and your mermaids can live in peace, and safety can be guaranteed. Shiyun introduced it to King Neptune. King Neptune was extremely excited. Although it was a different world, this place was obviously a paradise for mermaids. Isn't this what his wife Otahime wanted? After all, the fishmen and mermaids on the island were once classified as fish by humans and were discriminated against by humans. Although the celestial dragons died in the original world, because the mermaids were too valuable, there were still pirates willing to capture the mermaids and sell them at a high price. This was a very terrible thing for all the mermaids, but they were not strong enough to protect themselves. It was not until Whitebeard came and planted his flag on Fishman Island that he deterred the pirates coming and going, and they lived in peace for a while. But what about here? There are no pirates, no nobles. There are even few humans now, and they can go ashore freely. It's so wonderful. I want to ask Lord Shiyun, you created this world, and what is the purpose of bringing us here? I am a god, I need faith. I know, we are willing to come. King Neptune agreed. It's just faith. Shiyun saved Fishman Island. He is the benefactor of Fishman Island. He is God. Don't worry, the faith I'm talking about doesn't require you to sacrifice anything. You just need to trust me and support me devoutly. That's enough. Yes, Yin. By the way, you mermaids can come in, but fishmen can't. The fishmen in Fishman Island are divided into two categories. One is the mermaids represented by King Neptune, who live in the palace. Most of them are beautiful mermaids, such as Shirahoshi and Kami. The other is the fishmen living in Fishman Street. They look half human and half fish. They breathe with lungs on land and with bream in water. Representatives include Jinbei, the dead Duerong, Hody Jones, etc. Lord Shiyun, in fact, the fishmen are the same as us. They are all discriminated against by humans because of fishmen. In fact, they are not bad by nature. And it is because of Jinbei that we were able to get Whitebeard's protection, so can we bring them in together? Neptune pleaded. Do you know how Otahime died? No, it was Hody Jones. He shot and wounded Otahime while she was giving a speech, and threw the blame on the pirates. His purpose was to take revenge on humans. He didn't want Fishman Island to coexist peacefully with humans, and regarded human lives as worthless. He would do anything to achieve his goal. No. King Neptune's face changed, unwilling to believe this fact. And Vanderdecken X was the one he found to deal with Shirahoshi. What? Why? Shirahoshi is so young, why did he attack Shirahoshi? King Neptune was even more angry when he heard it. Because Hody Jones saw Shirahoshi summon Aquaman with his own eyes, he was afraid that when he tried to seize your throne, Shirahoshi would use Aquaman to stop him, so he joined forces with the flying pirates. This fool. Now you should know why I don't want them to come here. Their existence is a cancer. No matter where they go, their hatred for humans will not be eliminated. I know, do everything according to the adults' wishes. Okay, let's go back first. Shiyun took King Neptune back. Father, where have you been? Several sons of King Neptune came forward worriedly. Master Shiyun took me to the new world to have a look. Children, let's move. Once there, we can live freely in the sea and on land. Really, Father, this, suddenly move, will everyone agree? It doesn't matter, they don't agree for the time being just because they haven't been there, and when they get there, they will accept everything. King Neptune is very confident about this. Father, that Shirahoshi is out too. Definitely. Great, I'll go find Shirahoshi. Master Shiyun, what do we need to do? King Neptune looked at Shiyun. Master Shiyun, Father, let me say one thing, that is, after we move to Fishman Island, how will the pirates in the first half of the Grand Line go to the New World? It's impossible to go to the Red Earth continent, right? Shark Star, the eldest prince of the Ryugu kingdom, asked in embarrassment. Ah, this. King Neptune also paused. He really hadn't thought about this problem. It doesn't matter. I will open up the Red Earth continent and connect the front half to the New World, so that they can come and go freely. Hiss. King Neptune and Shark Star took a breath of cold air, extremely shocked. Is this the power of God? Such words can be said easily. It's too strong. Okay, I'm going to do something, Shi Yun said, teleporting above the Fishman Street. After looking at the range, he controlled his power to annihilate it with a punch, clearing all the fishmen, and then teleported outside the Fishman Island, activated psychokinesis, and wrapped the entire Fishman Island and transferred it into the god's domain. Father, how could Lord Shi Yun? Shark Star saw that Shi Yun actually destroyed the Fishman Street with one punch, and his eyes were terrified. Alas, children, your mother and Shirahoshi were killed by Hody Jones. If it weren't for his hatred of humans, Otahime would not have died that year. King Neptune told his sons what Shi Yun had just told him. Shark Star changed his previous fear and only anger remained in his eyes. This Hody Jones. No wonder Lord Shi Yun didn't allow them to go to the New World. Shi Yun came back. Okay, you are already in the New World. So fast. Why don't I feel anything? Shark Star was confused. Idiot, this is a god. King Neptune knocked Shark Star's big head. You can go out and have a look now. The location here is still 10,000 meters under the sea. There is an island, I moved on it, but it is empty. You can get whatever you want. Yes, thank you Lord Shi Yun, leave the rest to me. King Neptune thanked sincerely. Well, quote, Shi Yun returned to the pirate world, and then to the Red Earth continent, punched out a passage, so that the Grand Line was completely connected and no longer needed to pass through the seabed to go directly to the New World. In this way, no matter what level of pirate, they can enter and exit freely. After finishing here, Shi Yun went to the Calm Belt and found the daughter island. We are willing. Faced with Shi Yun's proposal, Hancock did not hesitate. Going to the New World is more free and safe, how could she refuse? In particular, Hancock's eyes were filled with pink love when she looked at Shi Yun, as if no matter what Shi Yun said, Hancock would not refuse. Well, I'll start moving. Quote, Shi Yun moved the entire daughter island and the nearby islands, including the island with giant gorillas, tigers, and the island where Rayleigh taught Luffy, into the New World. He also intercepted half of the Calm Belt, brought many Aquamans, fish, etc., and put them into the sea. There is no red soil continent in the New World, so there is no Calm Belt. So far, the moving work has been temporarily completed. Not long after, other people in this world discovered that several islands and kingdoms disappeared from the sea. Then the Navy also discovered that Hancock, one of the 7 warlords of the sea, could not be contacted. The Navy sent to the Calm Belt was confused and lost, saying that they did not find the location of the daughter island. Question mark. Even more confused was Jinbei, who went back to Fishman Island and his home was gone. Jinbei, where is my big Fishman Island? In addition, the passage connecting the first half of the Grand Line to the New World was soon discovered by someone, and this incident caused an uproar. Countless people know that these are Shi Yun did it, because apart from him, no one else could easily wipe out the extremely hard red ugly continent. The Navy was panicked and at a loss. Because their first reaction after knowing the passage was to build a checkpoint there to block the pirates' entry and exit. At this time, they also knew that Fishman Island was gone, that is to say. Without Fishman Island as a transit station, many pirate ships were completely disconnected from the New World. This is a very good thing for their navy to fight against pirates. But the problem is that this passage was opened by Shi Yun, and the navy did not dare to guard it, so they were helpless. They believed that it would not be long before a large number of pirates would burst out in the New World. But these had nothing to do with Shi Yun. He stayed in the pirate world for another 2 days. One was to screen the transaction applications. Anyway, with the shadow duplication, he could complete the number and speed of transactions very quickly. The second was to find Wei to get her transaction price. In this way, Shi Yun returned to the Marvel world after 2 days. And Nami and Robin also started to sail. After Shi Yun came back, he looked at his experience points. It was originally about 500,000, but now it has increased to 700,000. A large part of it was obtained by the group members Fubuki Tornado, Kocho Shinobu, Sun, Seiko Busujima and others in the world of the dead body, the Iron Fortress, and the world of the child. As different worlds were continuously opened, their upgrade speed became faster. Even Nakigo and Mai Sakurajima joined the ranks of monsters, and now they have the strength of level 1 and level 2. Shi-yun was happy to see this. The stronger they are, the faster Shi-yun will gain experience points. That night, Shi-yun opened the prayer voice as usual and searched for trading targets. Shi-yun, if only you were here. Ah, this big guy has so much strength. Is this Gwen? Who is she hitting? Shi-yun recognized the owner of the voice, and telepathy instantly covered the entire New York, found Spider-Woman who was fighting, and with a teleport, came to the rooftop next to the battlefield. Abomination. That's right, the one fighting Gwen was the Abomination who was transformed after being injected with Hulk's blood. However, Yu hasn't come out yet. Shi-yun looked up at the helicopter hovering in the sky. Ross, Banner, and his girlfriend were looking down from inside. Banner didn't think of taking action. Was it because he believed in Gwen? However, as long as his eyes were not blind, he could see that Gwen did not have the strength to stop the Abomination, and could only delay it for a short time. Because the power of the Abomination and the power of Gwen were completely different. Gwen punched the Abomination without any pain, but if Gwen was hit by the Abomination, she would at least be injured and hospitalized, or even her life would be in danger. Shi-yun saw that Gwen's reaction was getting slower and slower, so he appeared directly. Bang! Shi-yun appeared in front of Gwen and took the Abomination's punch. Shi-yun. Gwen couldn't help but shout in surprise. Oh, Spider-Woman knows me. Shi-yun looked at her with amusement. Ah, that. I saw the news about you stopping Osborn. Gwen scratched her cheek and replied awkwardly. Is that so? Well, that. Can you handle this big guy? Be careful, he's very strong. Don't worry, I'll fight back. Shi-yun released his right hand, then clenched his fist and punched the Abomination in the chest. Ordinary annihilation punch. Boom. The Abomination flew and fell towards the army guarding the street corner. They were so scared that they quickly avoided it. When the Abomination landed, only half of its body was left. In this situation, Hulk might have a chance to recover, but the Abomination might not. But the Abomination was dead. But even if the Abomination could recover, it would be useless, because the annihilation energy was still destroying the remaining body of the Abomination. After a while, not even a bit of blood or ash was left. You killed him, Gwen exclaimed. Otherwise, let him run around. Shi-yun shrugged. Quote. Okay, it's done, let's go together. Ah, no need. Gwen shook his head, threw out a cobweb and flew up to the tall building. What are you doing? He is the property of the military, how can you kill him? Ross jumped off the helicopter and questioned Shi-yun. Banner was hesitant to speak, but he couldn't say anything with his identity. Are you teaching me how to do things? Come on, catch him for me, Ross shouted. The soldiers behind looked at each other, wondering if their boss was not smart. This guy can kill the Abomination with one punch. Aren't they just sending food? But Ross didn't think so much. He thought the Abomination was difficult to deal with because he had become a monster, so he acted without scruples. But Shi-yun is a human being, so he has political rights and can be judged by law. So Ross resumed his arrogance. R.A. Bang. Shi-yun was too lazy to listen to his nonsense and knocked his head off with a punch. Exclamation mark, exclamation mark, exclamation mark. All the soldiers present were shocked. And those who watched the news through the live news broadcast were subconsciously scared and trembled. This scene was too bloody and a little uncomfortable. Shi-yun did not use annihilation energy this time, so after Ross's head fell off, it took a few seconds before his body fell down, and blood splattered a large area. Dad! Ross's daughter screamed and rolled her eyes and fainted. You! Banner supported his girlfriend and looked at Shi-yun. You got one thing wrong. I'm not a superhero. If you mess with me, you will die. The same goes for Hulk. Shi-yun slowly flew into the sky and looked down at everyone with a contemptuous attitude, making the soldiers dare not make any moves at all. Even the host on the helicopter forgot to speak. Because Shi-yun is really strong. His character is also very decisive. Even though Ross is a general, he killed him without mercy. As he said, He is not a superhero, unlike Iron Man and Spider-Woman. Shi-yun left, but the aftermath he left behind lasted for a long time. At S.H.I.E.L.D. headquarters, Fury looked at the news with a gloomy face and said nothing. Natasha Romanoff, is this the assessment you gave me? Safe. The character is the same as that of a high school student. No violent factors. Average strength level. Are you lying to me? Fury questioned Natasha Romanoff in a serious tone. If it weren't for Natasha Romanoff's assessment report and the agent in charge of monitoring telling him that Shi-yun rarely went out on weekdays, he wouldn't be so careless. How can this be the personality of a high school student? Saying that he is an antisocial personality is an understatement. And his strength is average. He can easily kill the abomination with one punch, let alone the Hulk. At this stage, Iron Man and the recovering Captain America are not his opponents. It is true that he has no violent factors, but his aura that seems to be the only one in the world is more difficult to control than those super criminals. At least they are more or less worried about certain special institutions and dare not be too presumptuous. But Shi-yun is obviously not like that. Ross, a military general, can kill anyone he wants. If the president stood in front of him today and said what Ross said, Fury believed that Shi-yun would kill the president without hesitation. Such a person, with such strength, is simply a disaster. He doesn't even know where the upper limit of Shi-yun's strength is. He doesn't know how much he is better than Captain Marvel. He has no idea at all. Natasha Romanoff had no way to deal with the furious Fury. I wrote the report based on my observations. I believe you should have discovered that Shi-yun always disappears suddenly sometimes. As for where he went, I don't know. Regarding this, Fury was sure that Natasha Romanoff was not lying. After Shi-yun disappeared, Fury tried to find his whereabouts around the world, but there was no doubt that there was no information about his appearance in any place. After all, any super ability event on the Earth would be monitored by S.H.I.E.L.D., whether it was mutant, Ghost Rider, or mysterious magic, they all knew something more or less. Fury pondered. You mean, during the time he disappeared, he went to a certain place to become stronger, and his personality changed. It should be that his momentum was not so strong at the beginning, and his murderous aura was not so heavy. Although Natasha Romanoff became Shi-yun's servant, Natasha Romanoff could not say anything about him without his permission, but Shi-yun's activities were all in other worlds, so Shi-yun did not ask for this. Because Natasha Romanoff knew almost no important information, she only knew that he would disappear occasionally, but Shi-yun did not tell her where he went, so every word Natasha Romanoff said was true, which was also the reason why Fury did not feel that Natasha Romanoff had been controlled by Shi-yun. Maybe I should go and contact him in person. At this point, Rui had no choice but to do this. He wanted to personally assess Shi-yun's danger, and it would be best if he could be pulled into the Avengers team, so that the team would have top combat power. As for what he had done, Fury said it didn't matter. For example, he now wanted to pull Banner into the team. On the top of a building, Gwen sat on the edge, her legs hanging empty, while taking off her mask. Shi-yun is such a wretch. Gwen didn't expect that when she called Shi-yun in her heart, he would really appear. When he saved her, Gwen was very moved. But perhaps because of Gwen's kindness and lack of experience, she felt that Shi-yun was a little too violent. Are you saying bad things about me? Shi-yun quietly appeared behind Gwen and spoke with some amusement. Ah! Gwen jumped up like a frightened deer, put on the mask in a panic, and then turned around. How come you are here? I followed you here. Miss Gwen seems to be a little dissatisfied with me. What Gwen? You recognized the wrong person. Gwen lowered her voice and pretended nothing happened. Really? Shi-yun stepped forward. What are you doing? Gwen stepped back and avoided Shi-yun. If not, why are you running? Shi-yun grabbed Gwen's hand that tried to stop him and pulled her into his arms. Let me go. Have you forgotten me so quickly? Shi-yun pressed his right hand on Gwen's slender curves behind her and took off her mask. How did you find me? Gwen stopped pretending and looked at Shi-yun curiously. Didn't I tell you that when you are in danger, call my name in your heart and I will appear in time? You really heard it. Gwen was surprised. At first, she thought it was Shi-yun comforting her. Definitely, in fact, my super ability is not psychokinesis, but God. God? What God? Gwen opened her eyes wide, full of curiosity. God of trade, As long as someone trades with me, I can fulfill Feng's original wish. Do you want to try? Shi Luguan said. Really? Are you lying to me? Is it true? You can try it. For example, you trade with me and let me help you become stronger. How about it? Then I will really trade with you. Gwen narrowed her eyes and smiled with two crescents. Ding! Gwen Stacy initiated a transaction application. Transaction object Gwen Stacy. Transaction content help her become stronger. Transaction conditions one-time use of the body. Shi Yun agreed to the transaction and selected the right to use the body. Tell me, what do you want? My divine power, psychokinesis, angels healing power, demons fire, and ice. Or something else. So many. There are even angel and demon powers. Definitely, I said I'm a god. Then, is there any way to improve physical fitness, strength and reaction? Gwen thought. My divine power is enough, but I'll give you the power of the Universe Overlord. The power of the Universe Overlord Boros, energy absorption, energy control, infinite regeneration, meteor explosion, and collapse star roaring cannon. Shi Yun raised his hand, pressed on Gwen's forehead, and activated the gift. The moment Gwen received the gift, a powerful energy appeared and began to strengthen and transform Gwen's body, helping her continue to break the limits of the human body and help her adapt to the control and use of energy. This. Gwen was stunned when she felt the changes in her body. Shi Yun was not lying. He really gave her powerful strength. Gwen felt that she could blow up the earth with one punch. This power is too terrifying. Shi Yun smiled and asked, how is it? Too scary. I'm afraid I can't control it. Then adapt first, let's go. Where to? My divine domain. Shi Yun brought Gwen to the starfish and landed on an uninhabited island. Is this your divine domain? Gwen looked at the world that was very different from the Earth, and Yuan Qifengdai. Yes, my divine domain only has this planet for the time being, but there will be more and more in the future. Too amazing. I have never seen the sea in my life. Gwen looked at the blue sea, and Qing unconsciously opened up a lot. Is this planet as big as the Earth? Yes, it was built with reference to the Earth. In addition, this planet is mainly composed of sea and less land. Can I take a look? Gwen said excitedly. Definitely, I'll take you for a walk. Shi Yun put his arm around Gwen's waist, flew into the sky, and started a high-speed flight with Gwen. The more Gwen looked, the more surprised she was. It was just as Shi Yun said, all sea, and there were not even some small islands in the middle. It was as if this planet was made entirely of seawater. There are people there, Gwen shouted, pointing to the island that finally appeared below. These are my believers who migrated from another world. Similarly, there are not many for the time being. In addition, there are mermaids. Do you want to see them? Mermaids. I want to see them. Let's go. Shi Yun continued to fly forward with her and saw another island. Shi Yun could see that there were already mermaids appearing on the seashore on land, but because the mermaids were different from the fishmen, such as Along and Jinbei, had 2 feet since birth, and their physical fitness was stronger than that of ordinary humans, and they could live freely in the sea and on land. However, the mermaids belong to the human range, belonging to the mammals that give birth to live young, and their birth and feeding methods were the same as those of humans. Female mermaids, tails will separate into legs after they turn 30, and most female mermaids will go to land and marry human men. Male mermaids will never be able to turn their tails into legs, only female mermaids can, such as King Neptune and Otahime. Therefore, all the mermaids who come to land are female. There are really mermaids. Wow, so beautiful. Gwen was surprised. Wait, is that a mermaid too? How come it's so big? Gwen pointed to the reef on the coast, and Shirahoshi, who was playing in the water, exclaimed. That's the princess of the mermaid clan. Her name is Shirahoshi, and next to her is her father, King Neptune of Fishman Island, and his sons. Do you want to go down and take a look? Can you? Definitely can. Shi Yun brought Gwen down. Neptune. Master Shi Yun. King Neptune and Sharkstar were extremely happy to see Shi Yun. When Shirahoshi saw that it was Shi Yun, she shyly dived into the water, and then couldn't help but curiously exposed her eyes to secretly look at him. In the past few days, Shirahoshi has learned everything about Shi Yun. She knows that he moved the entire Fishman Island to the New World. It is also because of Shi-yun that she can leave the hard shell tower and swim freely in the sea. She is so happy. More importantly, Shi-yun also avenged her from Hody Jones. Yes, Shirahoshi had already learned the truth from her pet shark Megalo. But she listened to Otahime's last words and did not make this matter public. Shirahoshi and her mother Otahime have the same ideal, hoping to let the mermaids and fishmen come to the surface to live in peace with humans. Now, half of the dream has been realized. Because all the fishmen living in Fishman Street were killed by Shi-yun with one punch. However, Bai Xing is still grateful to Shi-yun and has always wanted to see this benefactor in person. Master Shi-yun, that's my daughter Bai Xing. She's a little timid, please don't mind. King Neptune said embarrassedly. Bai Xing, come and see Master Shi-yun. Didn't you say you wanted to thank the master in person a long time ago? Master Shi-yun. Bai Xing blushed and cautiously emerged from the water, hiding behind her brother Shark Star. But Shark Star is not as big as Bai Xing, which is like covering one's ears and stealing the bell. Hello, Shi-yun smiled and nodded. Gwen looked at Bai Xing's shy look and found it very interesting. This is my girlfriend Gwen. Bring her to see you. She really wants to see mermaids. Shi-yun has set up in the god's domain that anyone who comes in can automatically understand words of different races and languages, so there is no obstacle for Gwen and King Neptune to communicate. When Gwen heard Shi-yun say that she was his girlfriend, she was shy on the face and happy in her heart. Miss, would you like to visit the Dragon Palace? Fishman Island is very beautiful. King Neptune naturally welcomed Gwen and even took the initiative to invite her to play under the sea. Can I go? Gwen looked at Shi-yun. Definitely, let's go. This way. King Neptune and Shirahoshi led the way. Shi-yun put a layer of psychokinesis barrier on Gwen and took her to swim to the deep sea. You can also see various fish along the way. What is that? It's so big. Gwen pointed at a large octopus that appeared not far away. It turned out to be a celestial being. This is an Aquaman. This one is still small. There are bigger ones. This place is so magical. Gwen was simply amazed. After arriving at Fishman Island, Lu Wen felt like he had come to a fairy tale world. Everything was so beautiful. Everything was full of dreamlike reality. Gwen forgot that the purpose of coming here was to adapt to his own strength. Under the leadership of Shirahoshi, he was fully immersed in eating, drinking and shopping. This statue looks familiar. Gwen looked at the statues erected in the square and felt that he had seen it somewhere. This is the statue of Lord Shi-yun. It is to thank Lord Shi-yun for everything he has done for us, Shirahoshi explained. Oh my god. Gwen was so surprised that he couldn't speak. Shi-yun took Gwen to play for several hours. If Gwen hadn't remembered her identity, she would have almost fallen asleep in this fairy tale world. Shi-yun took Gwen back to the Marvel world. Oh no, my dad wouldn't have found out that I'm not at home. Gwen looked at the time and was scared. I'll take you home. Shi-yun took Gwen back to her room. I'll go see if my dad is there. Gwen grabbed a piece of clothing and put it on, tiptoeing out. Don't look, he's not there. Not at home. That's great. But why hasn't my dad come back yet so late? Gwen picked up her phone and saw that the police station was working overtime because of the hateful incident. Well, it seems that my dad won't be back tonight. Gwen sighed. Isn't that just right? What's just right? Ahem, Shi-yun, aren't you going back first? Gwen's eyes wandered. The adults were not at home, and the two young lovers were alone at home. Gwen didn't need to think about it, she felt that there might be a chance of an accident. I haven't received my transaction reward yet. Shi-yun sat down on Gwen's bed and looked at her with interest. Reward, what is the right to use the body? Gwen recalled the transaction conditions signed when she made the transaction, and didn't quite understand the meaning of this sentence. It means. Shi-yun patted Gwen's bed, and his intention was obvious. Quote exclamation mark exclamation mark exclamation mark quote. Gwen's fair skin instantly turned red. Why, is it this? Shi-yun, are you bullying me? Gwen wanted to cry but had no tears. I didn't bully you, you didn't ask. Why didn't you say it then? I did it on purpose. You bullied me. I don't care. Gwen rushed over and punched Shi-yun's chest with her fist. But didn't this play into Shi-yun's hands? Shi-yun turned over and looked at Gwen, who was close at hand. Gwen felt her body getting hot. I want to take a shower first. It's over, Dad is not at home tonight, she can't escape. Okay, I want to take a shower too, get up. Shi-yun picked up Gwen and walked into her bathroom. In the early morning, with the sound of Gwen's door being pushed open, Shi-yun opened her eyes. Gwen, your dad is back. Well, I'll sleep a little longer. Gwen, I'm leaving, your dad is back. My dad. What? My dad is back. Gwen heard clearly, and then suddenly opened her eyes. You leave. Okay, it's okay, I'll leave now. Shi-yun looked at the anxious Gwen with a smile. Shi-yun got up, picked up the clothes on the chair beside him and put them on. Gwen's spider uniform was still on the ground. Yes, Gwen put on this uniform at Shi-yun's request last night. The effect is good. The result is that this uniform cannot be torn. However, Shi-yun promised that he would return a new one to Gwen within today. Shi-yun teleported away, and Gwen didn't sleep. She got up and saw that the clothes she had worked so hard to make were torn. She felt ashamed and angry. Big pervert. After Shi-yun went back, he used his super ability to get more suitable materials for making uniforms in an important organization, and then used his divine power to weave them, making the new spider uniform more breathable and comfortable, and also with defensive properties. It would not be easily cut by a sharp blade, even a bullet could not break it. Then he transferred it to Gwen's school bag. Afterwards, Shi-yun pulled Gwen into the trading and after-sales group. Group leader Shi-yun at Gwen, Gwen, these are all people I have traded with. They come from different worlds. You can communicate with each other. In addition, I have made you my follower. You can also upgrade in the world of group members. Kanae Kaucho, welcome newcomers. Miko Yatsuya, welcome newcomers, you can ask us any questions. Nami, hello. Satania, welcome newcomers. Vinate, which world is Gwen from? Nameless, Master Shi-yun, when will you come to us again? Shifengchuan Ayame, yes, Shi-yun Tianren. Is your divine domain short of people? My Sakurajima, anyone wants to go fight monsters? Please form a team. Miko Yatsuya, wow, you are working too hard. They are all angels. Gabriel, what's wrong with Angel? She is still using my Where's Angel's halo. Satanaya, haha, she's so anxious. Gabriel, Satanaya, you're looking for death. Raphael, roar. Satania is going to be beaten again, I'll go see. Kanae Kaucho, who is the angel and who is the devil? Gwen sat in the classroom with her head down and looked at the book, but she was actually distracted by the information in the chat group. People from different worlds. Zombies, spirits, kabani, monsters, pirates, ninjas, hiss. Gwen was extremely shocked. The chat group undoubtedly broke Gwen's worldview and let her see a wider world. So, Shi-yun has done so many things in places I don't know. Gwen now understands why Shi-yun is unwilling to go to school and work. As a god of trading, he really doesn't have to be the same as others. Moreover, these people in the group. After opening their personal panels, Gwen found that they were all so strong. The lowest level was second level. Look at herself. Personal panel. Name, Gwen Stacy. Occupation, superhero. Level, 5th level planet level. Ability, spider ability. Granted, Cosmic Overlord Boros template. I'm actually 5th level, am I that strong? Gwen didn't feel that she was very strong. But how come she had the strength of 5th level planet level? Wait, Gwen noticed that there were a few words written on her. Granted, column, Cosmic Overlord Boros template. Hiss, I became the Cosmic Overlord. Gwen at Group Master Shi-yun, I have planetary strength now. Kanae Kocho, hiss, this new guy is a big shot. Miko Yatsuya, oh my god. Isn't this the same as Fubuki and Tornado? My Sakurajima, how many monsters have you killed? Rei Miyamoto, I have to work hard. Shizuka Marikawa, why work so hard? It's enough to have enough strength. Blizzard of Hell, Boros. Isn't this the alien who came to Earth last time? Gwen, this is what Shi-yun gave me. Kanae Kocho, what? The first time I gave you the strength of level 5. I'm jealous. Shinobu Kocho, I'm jealous. Miko Yatsuya, I'm jealous. Blizzard of Hell, I'm jealous too. Group leader Shi-yun, why are you jealous? Let's put it this way. Fubuki, Tatsumaki, Miko, Seiko, and Shinobu, you guys leveled up the fastest, I'll give you a chance to choose for yourself. Fubuki of Hell, I want the Ice Hell. Tornado of Trembling, then I want Satan's Flame. Miko Yatsuya, I want Angel's Aura. Seiko Busujima, I want the Nameless 10-Fisted Sword. Shinobu Kocho, well, I want the Universe Overlord template, too, okay. Fubuki of Hell, Mai Sakurajima. Miko Yatsuya, you're such a clever little ghost. Kanae Kocho, well done. Shinobu, if I'd known, I would have chosen this last time. Group leader Shiyun, okay, I'll satisfy you all. Shiyun directly gave them various abilities through the chat group link. Except for Shinobu, who directly rose to the 5th planetary level because of Boros template, the strength of the others did not change. Blizzard of Hell, thank you, Master Shiyun. Tornado of Trembling, thank you. Yotani Miko, thank you, Master Shiyun. Now, even if I don't take the initiative, the evil spirits won't dare to come over when they see me. Kahiko Shinobu, thank you, Master Shiyun. Nami, Master Shiyun, do you have the ability to move in the sea water? Group Master Use, yes, I have a deep sea power of Aquaman, which allows you to live freely in the sea. Nami, I'll get this next time. I won't have to worry about falling into the sea anymore. Nohigo, I want it too. Group Leader Shiyun, you guys should work hard to upgrade. Group Leader Shiyun, you can use this to contact me if you have any questions. Gwen, okay. Shiyun exited the group chat and continued to look for trading partners. Run, Pietro, I'm not a witch, who can help me? Shiyun was very surprised. Pietro. Witch, Wanda, their ability awakening. Shiyun heard what Wanda said, it seems that it is not in accordance with the setting of the Marvel movie universe. In the movie, Wanda and her brother awaken ability because Hydra was doing experiments and was stimulated by the mind gem, thus awakening the power that originally belonged to them. In the background story of the comics, they awakened automatically without being stimulated. Shiyun did not go there immediately, but watched them temporarily through time and space to see how they were exerting their strength. Shiyun saw Wanda and Pietro, who were still very young at the moment, surrounded by a group of people and had no way to go. The clothes of this group of people were very Viking style, and they looked like they were from Europe. They held shotguns, long knives, wooden sticks, and torches in their hands, surrounded the two siblings in the middle, and said something. We are not witches. Pietro stood in front of Wanda and argued loudly. Impossible. I saw with my own eyes that red light came out of her hands and blew up the roof. Yes, yes, yes. We saw it too. She is a witch. Witches should be burned to death. Everyone shouted indignantly and approached. He wanted to do something to me. Wanda shouted angrily. Stop talking about these useless things. Burn them, burn them, burn them. Wanda looked at this scene in fear, at a loss. Pietro also had a dark face. Although he found that he could run very fast, he had never trained because he was afraid of being exposed. So now he could not control his ability, let alone take Wanda through the blockade of hundreds of people and escape successfully. I can save you and leave. Do you need a deal? Who are you? Wanda looked up in surprise. Wanda, are you okay? Pietro turned his head sharply. Hearing this, Pietro almost thought that Wanda didn't recognize him. Wanda shook her head. I am the god of trade. I can take you away safely and give you a stable place to live. What do you want? I want your magic. Magic. This is magic. Wanda at the moment still had a half understanding of her ability. Looking at the reactions of the people around, you can know that magic is almost extinct here. Perhaps, because of the century-long witch elimination campaign, after countless witches were burned alive, magic almost disappeared from the public's eyes. So Wanda, like Pietro, was afraid that her ability would be discovered and regarded as a heretic, so she didn't dare to show it at ordinary times. She didn't know that this was magic. If it wasn't for Wanda's boss coveting Wanda's beauty today and trying to make a move on her, Wanda wouldn't have accidentally blown up the roof in anger, attracting the attention of everyone in the town. At this moment, Wanda heard the mysterious voice saying that the price of the transaction was magic, and she couldn't wait to agree. Wanda thought that if he took the magic, she would become a normal person. I agree. Ding, Wanda applies for a transaction. Transaction object, Wanda. Transaction content, save Wanda and Pietro. Transaction conditions, origin magic power. Do you agree? Agree. Definitely agree. This is origin magic power. There is no reason for Shiyun not to trade. Shiyun even wants Phoenix Force. Find some time to go to Xavier's school and see if there is a chance to get Jean's Phoenix Force. Shiyun, while thinking, teleported to the side of Wanda and her brother. As soon as Shiyun appeared, the residents of the town who were besieging him fell silent, and looked at Shiyun, who suddenly appeared with vigilance and confusion. Who are you? Pietro quickly opened his hands to protect Wanda behind him. I came to save your people, I came to complete the transaction. It was you just now. Wanda poked her head and looked at Shiyun. The first reaction was that he was so handsome. The second reaction was that he was the god of transaction. What just now? Pietro was puzzled. I'll tell you later, I'll take you away first. Okay. Wanda nodded, pulled Pietro's sleeve, and signaled him not to be so nervous. Pietro glanced at Wanda and put down his hand. You can't leave. She's a witch. Yes, the witch must be burned to death. No one can take her away. That's right. She also blew up my store. You must compensate. A man with a dark face stood up and pointed at Wanda and cursed angrily. Are you Wanda's boss? Shiyun looked over. That's right. Why, do you want to pay compensation on her behalf? Well, I'll send you to hell. How about this compensation? Bang. Shiyun pinched him and crushed him. Ah, murder. Devil. He's a devil. Help. Run. The residents of the town scattered. They dared to yell at Wanda and Pietro, and even wanted to burn Wanda to death, because they were easy to bully. If Wanda was replaced by Scarlet Witch in the future, the whole town would be destroyed in a matter of minutes. Who dared to provoke and bully her? So, when they met the more ruthless Shiyun, they naturally ran away in fear, because Shiyun would really kill them. Although Pietro's face turned pale when he saw this scene, he said nothing, because this man deserved to die. And Wanda was also insisting and didn't shout. Let's go. Shiyun took them back to her apartment. Wanda and Pietro felt a little dizzy and stood there at a loss. Nah. The two thought about it and sat down on the sofa. First of all, this is New York, not Eastern Europe. New York, Pietro exclaimed suddenly. From Eastern Europe to New York, almost across the Atlantic Ocean. And they came here in less than a second. Just blinked their eyes. Why are you helping us? Pietro asked. It's not help, it's a deal. I just made a deal with Wanda. Just now. Wanda explained. Well, I just heard him. My name is Shiyun. Yes, I heard Shiyun's voice. He said he could take us away, but the condition was my magic. All magic. Yes, Wanda's magic is called origin magic power. At the same time, she is also a mutant. Her ability is to modify probability. As for you, Pietro, your mutant ability is extreme speed. What is a mutant? A monster. Pietro and Wanda ran away from home and have been working to make money. They don't know the changes in New York at all. Well, it's a new kind of human. From birth, they have some super abilities. Some awaken at a very young age, and some, like you, awaken only when they grow up. There are all kinds of abilities. There are countless strange and numerous abilities. Quote. So, you came to help us because you liked Wanda's magic. What do you need us to do? Shiyun smiled and said, I don't need you to do anything. Rather than saying that I like Wanda's magic, it's better to say that I like Wanda. Quote. Pietro. Wanda. Me. Chapter 91. Pietro was silent for a moment. We shouldn't know each other, right? You've never met before, but you're attracted to your sister. You must have other intentions. Are you after their abilities? But this man was able to cross the Atlantic Ocean from Eastern Europe to bring them here. I don't know how much better he is than them. This doesn't make sense, does it? Then he can only be attracted by his sister's beauty. Pietro thinks Wanda is the prettiest in the world. Thinking about it this way, it doesn't make sense. Wanda was also confused at this moment. She understood what he said, but she didn't comprehend it. To be precise, I know you, but you don't know me. But I will tell you about these things later. Anyway, I have no ill will towards you, and I will not use your ability to do something you don't like. Shiyun continued. Stay here first and learn about the situation here. If you have anything you want to do, you can tell me. Pietro thought for a while and asked, I want to ask. Will the magic of the things you traded with Wanda disappear after the transaction? No, I copied her magic, but I suggest that you should practice it well, because the world is not peaceful now. Shi-yun stood up and took out a laptop from the bedroom. Do you need it? Wanda and Pietro shook their heads. Where have they come into contact with this before? It's good enough to be able to turn on the TV. If you don't know, learn slowly. In addition, watch more TV news. Take this money. If you need anything, go downstairs and buy it yourself. Shi-yun took out a stack and put it on the table. Are you leaving? It's a bit crowded for 3 people to live here. I'm going to find a new house outside. Quote, this apartment has 2 bedrooms and 1 living room. It is completely enough for 1 person to live in. 2 people can live in it, but it is not very convenient for 3 people. Shi-yun went out after saying that. Pietro and Wanda were left in silence for a long time. What do you say now? Pietro leaned on the sofa and relaxed. This is New York. We have nowhere to go. Let's stay for a while. Besides, he saved us, so we have to thank him. Wanda answered sincerely. But he has intentions towards you. Thinking of this, Pietro felt a little annoyed. At least he told us clearly and didn't use other means behind the scenes, right? Wang Tian smiled. At least after experiencing the previous town, she was wary of strangers, but Shi-yun was unexpectedly gentlemanly. No matter what his purpose was, at least she didn't have to worry about her safety for the time being. Otherwise, she and Pietro were no match for Shi-yun at all. Okay, watch TV. According to what he said, let's understand the situation here first. After Shi-yun left, he went to find a way to make money. The method is also very simple. There are many gangs in New York. You only need to find a small one to clean up and you can get millions of dollars, and you can also control the evil forces. In one night, Shi-yun cleaned up the strongholds of more than 10 gangs in New York and got tens of millions of cash, close to 100 million, which made all the underground forces in New York panic. They didn't know who they had offended. There was not even a little information left. They didn't even know whether the other party was a man or a woman. This is outrageous. This incident also alarmed Jin Bing. He made several calls and didn't get any effective information. Fortunately, after one night, nothing happened again. In the end, he could only issue a reward and leave it to fate. The next day, Shi-yun went to buy a mansion and took Wanda and Pietro over. This will be your home in the future. Can you live here for as long as you want? Pietro looked at the mansion and was very surprised. Definitely. By the way, do you have any way to help us adapt to our abilities? You know, we have no place to practice. Pietro and Wanda watched TV yesterday, learned how to use the computer, and discovered a lot about the lair. For example, he saved people on the street and stopped Osborn, who turned into Green Goblin, and he killed the Abomination and a military general with one punch. The two were very surprised. Shi-yun did so many things, but nothing happened. Is there no one to care? They didn't know, maybe Shi-yun didn't care. The death of an abomination was not important. As for the military, after they evaluated Shi-yun's strength, they would not touch him before they were absolutely sure. What if Shi-yun had the power to destroy the whole New York? Look at Hulk, look at the abomination. The military dispatched so many people, even tanks, and the result? Didn't he run away? This is when Hulk didn't have the intention to kill. Otherwise, if he was going to keep fighting, how much loss would he have suffered? It's simply unpredictable. I'm afraid he can't even handle Iron Man. Therefore, they can only swallow this loss in silence to avoid angering Shi-yun. In addition to the news about Shi-yun, Wanda and the others also learned that there are superheroes in New York, such as Iron Man, Spider-Woman, and the mutant organization and X-Men mentioned by Shi-yun. They learned about the situation of mutant in detail, which was basically the same as what Shi-yun said. So, Wanda is not a witch, and he is not a monster. Therefore, after learning this, for their own safety, Pietro and Wanda planned to practice their abilities well, so as not to fall into the situation where they were almost burned to death before. No matter what, they must be able to protect their loved ones, right? Practice. Sure, Shi-yun thought and took them to the starfish in the divine domain, and found an uninhabited desert island. Where is this? Wanda and Pietro looked at the blue sky and the rippling sea, feeling relaxed and happy. And the air is so clean. This is my divine domain. As I said, I am the god of trade, and this is my world. Divine domain. So big. The two were stunned. Big. This is just the first planet I have temporarily in my divine domain, and there will be more in the future. Shi Yun said with a smile. Then, how big is it? Probably, it's as big as half of the universe. Quote. Shi Yun estimated that when it is upgraded to level single universe, it will have a file size of a universe. This. Pietro was at a loss for words. Wanda didn't know what to say. Okay, you can practice your defense here to your heart's content. Pietro. Then what do I need to do? Your ability is extreme speed. Whether it is your own speed or your own thinking, you can reach a state of almost time-stopping, so you just need to keep running. Run. Pietro looked at the land behind him and was a little excited. Yes, only by experiencing your own limits can you control your ability more skillfully. Go. Okay, Pietro shouted and disappeared in a flash. What about me? Wanda looked at Shi Yun. You can just call my name. As for your origin magic power, it is the ancestor of all magic and has many incredible abilities. The most common function of origin magic power is alter reality. After you master it thoroughly, you can use this ability to easily modify reality, including but not limited to converting matter, modifying cause and effect, creating things out of thin air, distorting space and time, creating duplication, creating latitude, modifying physical rules, etc. But you are just starting out. You can start by controlling the movement of objects, controlling your own flight, attack, telepathy, mind control, like this. Shi Yun said, activating origin magic power. A circle of red light appeared on his right hand, and controlled the stone in the distance to fly up. Try it. Shi Yun cancelled the magic and looked at Wanda. Yeah, Wanda nodded. The green and fair little face was full of expectations. Wanda used magic and stretched out her hand towards the stone, trying to control it to fly, but the stone did not move. Shi Yun saw this and gave instructions. You have to imagine that you can move it. Spirit and intention are the key to using magic. Just like when you want to protect yourself, magic will appear in the form of attack, which can give you the ability to easily destroy the house. Wanda heard it and recalled the anger in her heart when she wanted to resist that annoying boss. Boom. The stone broke. Oh no, sorry, I didn't mean it. Wanda quickly put down her hand and hurriedly made a mistake. It's okay, it seems that you have to start with how to attack first. Shi Yun said with a smile. Let's do this. Do your best to attack these stones on the seashore, until you slowly get a feel for magic, and then you should be more comfortable moving them later. 767, can you? Quote, definitely, even if you blow up this island, it doesn't matter. Then I'll try. Wanda found that her angry emotions were more reliable than her imagination and thoughts. Wanda's hands were wrapped in magic energy, and she waved at the stone, attacking continuously. Shi Yun sat aside, watching quietly, and took a look at the information in the chat group. Gwen, at Group Master Shi Yun, I'll go to play with you after school. Nami, huh? Is Shi Yun in your world now? Gwen, ah, we are in the same world. We are high school classmates. Kanae Kocho, you are from the same world. Yotani Miko, Shi Yun was a high school student before. No wonder he is so young. Gwen, yes, but Shi Yun dropped out after 1 year. Mai Sakurajima, ah, why? Gwen, because of some misunderstandings. Group Master Shi Yun, no, it's because I don't want to study anymore. Quote. Nami, ah, why? Group Leader Shi Yun, I'm already a god, why do I still have to waste time in school? Yotani Miko. Sakurajima Mai. Gabriel, yes, I'm already an angel, why do I still have to study? Raphael, because this is our trial. Satania, I'm the Demon King, I don't want to be in school either. Vinay, Satania, stop it, don't you want living expenses? Satania, Gwen, unfortunately, if I don't study, my father will beat me to death. Group Leader Shi Yun, I'm different, don't learn from me. Quote. Marikawa Shizuka, Master Shi Yun, you haven't come to see me for a long time. Sakurajima might, yeah, didn't you say you would come to accompany me occasionally? Hell's Blizzard, Master Shi Yun, I want to see you too. Yotani Miko, woohoo. Master Shi Yun, do you want me no more? Group Leader Shi Yun, don't think too much, I don't. Gwen. Gwen looked at the information in the group and frowned. She had noticed that there were only girls in this group before, but she didn't think much about it, but now, it seems that something is wrong. How can they say such explicit words directly? Aren't they trading partners? Wait, Gwen suddenly remembered the trading condition, the right to use the body. Could it be that they all? So, they are all Shi-yun's girlfriends. Gwen, are you all Shi-yun's girlfriends? Kahiko Shinobu, I'm not, but I really want to be. Wuma, I'm Shi-yun's retainer. Shifengchuan Ayame, ditto. Gabriel, don't talk nonsense, I'm not. Satania, +1. Raphael, but thinking about being Shi-yun's girlfriend doesn't seem bad. Vinate, Raphael, don't let your imagination run wild, you're angel. Gwen, good fellow, except for these few who stood up to deny, the rest are all. Shi-yun actually has more than one girlfriend. Although Gwen knew that the girl named Maggie had been claiming to be Shi-yun's girlfriend in school, she pretended to turn a blind eye. After all, Maggie was in front and she was behind, so she had nothing to say. But what's going on in the group? If everyone is a world, then when did Shi-yun start? Besides, don't they mind? No, go ask today. Shi-yun saw Gwen's question, didn't answer, and directly left the group. From the moment he pulled Gwen into the chat group, he knew that Gwen would know these things sooner or later. But he didn't worry, he believed that Gwen would accept it. Ha, Pietro is back. How is it? Very good. Just a little tired. Pietro sat on the ground and gasped. Although a little tired, he felt so good. After running a few laps, Pietro also slowly adapted to his extreme speed. Now he just needs to exercise well, increase his physical strength and physical fitness, so that he can run faster and last longer in the future. How is Wanda? Pietro looked at Wanda, who was practicing magic. Fortunately, I will get it with more practice. I'll leave first. Shi-yun used teleportation to come to the underwater dragon palace. Lord Shi-yun. The guards in the palace bowed and greeted Shi-yun when they saw him. Lord Shi-yun, you are here, what can I do for you? A minister of the kingdom came over. Prepare some food and drinks. Yes, Lord Shi-yun, wait a moment. The minister immediately went down to give the order. Shi-yun did not see King Neptune and Shirahoshi in the palace, so he knew they were up there. King Neptune is now at the seaside when he has nothing to do. He takes his men to build a residence on land, develop the island, and settle down for those mermaids who can go ashore, and he enjoys this job. This is the land they have been looking forward to for a long time. Now, in addition to them, many timid mermaids in Fishman Island have left the palace in groups and come to the sea, curiously exploring this unknown world. After Shi-yun waited for a while, the delicious food was served. Shi-yun took it away and returned to Wanda. Come and eat. Quote, Pietro ran over immediately. Wow. It smells so good. Wanda, stop practicing and come and eat. Pietro called. What is this? Wanda smelled the fragrance and felt hungry. This is a specialty of this world. The two started eating and were immediately amazed. This is so delicious, Pietro shouted. After the two of them had a seafood feast, they both touched their stomachs and didn't want to move anymore. Wanda also felt a little embarrassed. It seemed that she had eaten too much, especially in front of Shi-yun. Shi-yun thought that they would probably stay here for the next few days, and stood up after thinking about it. Mr. Shi-yun. Pietro and Wanda also stood up. Wanda, look, this is the power of origin magic power. Shi-yun said to Wanda, then stretched out his hand from left to right towards the open space in front, and a villa appeared out of thin air. Is this Wanda's magic? So powerful, Pietro felt incredible. This is the alter reality of origin magic power. Once you master it, not to mention a house, even the whole world and the earth can be modified according to your wishes. Quote, even Wanda's magic can affect parallel universes and interfere with the entire multi-universe. Therefore, Wanda is also the core life of the multi-universe and the cornerstone of building the multi-universe. So Wanda, you have to practice well. The power of origin magic power is far beyond your imagination. Yes, I will. Wanda nodded seriously, and then walked towards the beach. She wanted to continue. Pietro didn't have such great determination. He was so sleepy at the moment. If you are tired, take a rest and continue in the afternoon. Okay. Shi-yun left the god's domain and returned to the villa. As soon as he came back, he noticed that there were people here. Fury, put away your tricks, if you are not afraid of death. Shi-yun walked to the sofa and sat down. Don't get excited. I have no ill intentions. Fury came from behind the door and raised his hands. You should know that it is very rude to step into someone else's home without permission. Quote. Shi-yun looked at Fury and used a Tsukuyomi illusion on him, just like Itachi did to Kakashi. Shi-yun spent 12 hours teaching Fury etiquette. The reason why it was 12 hours, not 7 days, was because Shi-yun was worried that Fury's spirit could not withstand it. Just like now, after Fury woke up from the illusion, he collapsed to the ground, breathing rapidly, and felt pain all over his body. He was even about to develop PTSD. Are you a devil? Fury looked at Shi-yun in disbelief. This young boy with a childish face, only 16 or 17 years old, actually stabbed him with a knife for 12 hours. Even every time when he was about to collapse, he healed his injuries and continued a new round of torture. This guy is simply a devil. If I were a devil, I would send you to hell, instead of letting you experience it for only 12 hours. Besides, only 1 second has passed in reality. 1 second. What is this ability? Illusion, mind control, or telepathy? You guessed it, I'm not sure. Psychic ability. It seems that you have a lot of complaints about Professor X and other mutants. I don't read my mind. Fury roared. Why? You broke into my house without permission, and I can't take a look. Don't treat me as Charles, who says one thing and another behind the scenes. If I say I can read your mind, I will do it in front of you. Humph. At least he won't completely tear his face apart. Fury stood up with trembling hands and feet, walked to the sofa and sat down. When he sat down, he even had phantom pain and his face changed. You just said Charles. Is he unconscious now? Is it you who did it? He and Magneto quarreled in my house, and they couldn't get rid of them, and they wanted to teach me a lesson. I just taught them a little lesson. Shi-yun said casually. Is that just a little bit? An Omega-level telepathy mutant, now completely mentally collapsed and turned into a vegetable, you still dare to say it's just a little bit. But this also shows Shi-yun's character, he will never give up even the slightest grudge. If you don't provoke him, it's fine, but once you provoke him, it's all over. Charles is like this, Ross is like this, and he is like this too. Tell me, why did you come to my place? Don't you already know? Oh, I refuse. Don't you want to consider it? If you join the Avengers, I can help you speak to the military. Fury, do you know how strong I am now? Shi-yun laughed. How strong? Fury felt huge amounts of uneasiness in his heart. You all say that Charles has the power to destroy the entire human race, which is true, but I have the power to destroy the entire Earth. You. Fury's pupils trembled. So, whether it's the military, Congress, or you SHIELD, as long as I want, I can make you completely disappear at any time. You can't do this. Are you teaching me how to do things? I'm not. I mean, everyone has no hatred or grudges, there's no need to do this. Single quote. Fury hurriedly explained, fearing that Shi-yun would be unhappy. Yes, so it's better for us not to get involved. After all, I don't have a good temper. I know, I will warn them, then I'll take my leave first. Fury nodded seriously. If you can't win him over, you can't be an enemy. Shi-yun is too scary. You must not provoke him. He even wanted to ask him if the money for buying this luxury house came from those gangsters, but he didn't dare to ask. After all, Shi-yun's target was not an ordinary person, which was a little comforting. Shi-yun picked up his mobile phone, and there were several text messages on it. Gwen said she would come over in the afternoon. He remembered that he didn't seem to have time to tell Gwen that he had moved, so he quickly sent an address. At 3:30 in the afternoon, Gwen rushed over after school, not in the appearance of Spider-Woman. Gwen, who was originally lively and youthful with a sweet smile, had a dark face at the moment, looking a little angry. Why did you move? And you can still afford such an expensive house. Did you do the gangster case that was rumored yesterday? It was me. Why? Forget it. Gwen put down her school bag and sat on the sofa in silence. Are you angry? Because of Fubuki and the others? When did they start? After I dropped out of school. So long. So, I came later. Gwen's eyes widened. Well, don't worry, you are not the last one. And, Shi-yun, what do you think of me? Girlfriend. They too, Shi-yun replied calmly. Why are you so? Gwen really wanted to call you a scumbag. But facing this face, Gwen couldn't say it. Gwen, the reason why I also pulled you into the group is that I don't want to hide it from you. Otherwise, how would you know if they are in other worlds? Shi-yun stepped forward and hugged Gwen. But this is too much. How much is too much? Humph, you actually want to open a harem. Shi-yun sighed. Actually, this is also related to my being the god of trade. Quote. What's the relationship? Gwen asked curiously. I can hear the voices from the heavens and the worlds. When they encounter various dangers and difficult problems, I want to help them, but if I don't establish a trading relationship, I can't do anything. If it's an angel like Gabriel, I can also trade their ability, such as Angel Halo, etc. But if the other party doesn't have ability, then I can only trade her life or body. I can't take the other party's life for no reason, right? Then I can only trade the right to use the body. When they are facing danger, it's good enough to survive, how can they balance other things? So, after I saved them, in order to prevent them from encountering similar things again, I established this trading after-sales group to help them improve their strength and enable them to protect themselves. Gwen, do you understand? As Gwen listened, she thought of the scene when she encountered the hatred a few nights ago. At that time, she was also unable to beat the hatred, so she called out to Shi-yun in her heart. If these girls in the group were in danger of their lives and Shi-yun had to trade with them because of the trading rules, it is not difficult to understand. But, the girls in the group obviously regarded Shi-yun as more than just a simple trading object. Humph, anyway, it is a fact that you have many girlfriends. But, I like you very much. Shi-yun said that since he could not convince her, he could only sleep with her. He picked up Gwen and walked towards the bedroom. Let me go. Gwen, I have only moved here for a day, and it is my first time living here. Do you want to come with me? Let's leave good memories together. Quote. Quote. Gwen stayed until dinner was over before leaving. After she left, Shi-yun went to the god's domain to take a look and found that the two were making good progress. Are you going to stay here or go back outside? Pietro, we want to go back. We don't have any change of clothes here. Okay. Shi-yun took them back. I have to leave for a while. When I come back, I will take you to the god's domain for training. You are free to move around during this time. Shi-yun plans to continue looking for trading partners. Before leaving, he gave some instructions to Wanda and the others so that they would not worry. Pietro nodded. Okay. Quote. Be careful. Shi-yun returned to the room and turned on prayer sound to search for the target. The God Killer World, Italy. After seeing a huge amount of wild boar appear on the beach, the great knight Erica rushed over there as a knight. The huge amount of wild boar was like a mountain, with golden flames flashing on its body. With a slight collision, it destroyed a large number of houses. If it was not stopped, the wild boar was enough to flatten the entire town. It's a divine beast. Erica looked solemn. Fly, Hermes's boots. Erica jumped up, and just as she was about to fall, she activated magic, and a red magic ring appeared under her feet. At the same time as her body became light, her toes stepped on the ring, and she appeared on a roof in the blink of an eye. Steel Lion and the Lionheart King is the ancestor, please listen to the oath of Knight Erica Blantyre. Lionheart King, the essence of the struggle is now in my hand, and the time for the duel has come, Lois Hart. Erica pulled out a long sword from the magic circle that appeared out of thin air in front of her, and chopped down at the huge amounts of pigs. Bang! The red magic power turned into sword energy and chopped on the wild boar, but it couldn't even break through the barrier on its body. How could it be? Erica is the file-size sister of the famous Brantley family in the magic world. She is a magic genius. At the age of 16, she is already a great knight, and she has always wanted to kill gods and become a godslayer and keeps working hard. And the wild boar in front of her, although it is just a divine beast, not the top god of disobedience, it is not something that a mere great knight can deal with. At least a paladin must be able to deal with it, and it can only barely deal with it, and it may not be able to kill it. For the demon king who has become a godslayer, the divine servants of the divine beasts are not powerful. But for Erica, it is a powerful opponent that she doesn't know whether she can defeat even if she fights to the death. At least now Erica knew that she had no strength to fight against this beast. Oh no, she regretted being so impulsive. She should have waited for the other knights to arrive before taking action together. Bang! The wild boar attacked the house where Erica was standing. With a bang, Erica was blown away by the air wave. Someone help me. Falling from such a high place would at least cause injuries, and at worst, death. Suddenly, Erica felt someone holding her waist. She opened her eyes and saw a smooth chin above her head. Before she could react, she found herself on the roof of another building. Erica looked at the handsome face in front of her. Her face was hot, and she quickly withdrew from the other's arms. Thank you for saving me. I'm glad you're okay, Shi-yun said, turning his head to look at the wild boar that was still wreaking havoc. The god of war in the east, the third of the 1,000 incarnations of Varislana. It's him. How do you know him? We have to stop him quickly. Erica looked at Shi-yun in surprise, then reacted and was very anxious. I can help you solve it. Do you need a deal? Trade. Yes, become my dependent, and I will solve this wild boar. Erica hesitated. If I don't trade, will you not take action? That's right. Shi-yun nodded. Roar. The wild boar roared and charged again. Do you need me to pledge my loyalty to you with a knight's oath? No, you just need to apply for a trade with me. Okay, I'll trade. Whether it was because this person just saved her or to deal with this beast, Erica had no other choice. Definitely, she could turn a blind eye to the beast and let it destroy everything. But as a knight, Erica would never allow her to have such an idea. Ding! Erica Bronte initiated a trade application. Trading object Erica Bronte. Trading content eliminate the disobedient beast wild boar. Trading conditions become a dependent. Do you agree? Agree. The transaction was established. Shi-yun grabbed the sword of divine power with his right hand, and then gently swung it at the huge wild boar, sending out a white slash. Erica saw this dazzling white sword energy, which easily cut through the barrier that she had just tried so hard to break. Boom! The wild boar roared, and its body exploded, turning into a light spot and dissipating. This. Erica looked at Shi-yun in shock. Are you a god slayer? Except for the god slayer and the god of disobedience, no one else can kill a divine beast so easily. But there are only 6 god slayers in the world now, and Erica knows each of them, and there is definitely no one in front of her promised. God slayer. No, I am a god. The god of disobedience. Erica exclaimed, but then she was confused. But why didn't I feel the breath of the god of disobedience from you? Shi-yun smiled and said, I didn't say that I am the god of this world. I am the god of trade, from another world. Quote, other worlds, similar to parallel worlds. There are parallel worlds in the worldview of the God Slayer, but not many people know about it. But Erica has been trained by the Magic Society Copper Black Cross because of her outstanding ability. Her uncle is the commander-in-chief of the Copper Black Cross, so she knows more. You can understand it this way. No wonder. Then don't you have the power of the god of disobedience? I guess so, Shi-yun said casually. Really? Then I would like to experience it. A blue-haired boy wearing a cloak appeared in the air. God of War, Veleslana. Erica panicked. They had just killed the other person's incarnation, but the other party came over immediately. This is a true disobedient god. Erica looked at Shi-yun beside her, feeling a little worried. She wondered if this god of trade from another world could be a match for God. At the moment, the god killer in Europe, the Sword King, Salvatore Toni, was not here. Erica could only hope for Shi-yun. Shi-yun, you want to fight me? Definitely. You killed my incarnation with a sword, and you are quite powerful. I think you may have the strength to defeat me. Veleslana's expression was full of excitement. He couldn't wait to look at Shi-yun. Okay, I also want to know if I can get your power. Shi-yun was very curious about this and wanted to play with the power to see what it felt like. Then defeat me. Veleslana raised his right hand to the sky, and a tornado appeared around his body. This was him taking back his scattered incarnations. White horse, goat, phoenix. I am the strongest and hold all victories in my hands. No matter human or demon, I will defeat all enemies who stand in my way. I will defeat any enemy who stands in my way. I am the glorious one, the undefeated one. Ahura gave me creation, chasing the enemy from behind, killing the enemy from the front, chanting my name, become the victory mantra. I am the strongest who holds all victories in my hands, no matter human or demon, I will defeat all enemies. Come on, mortals who challenge the gods. Veleslana declared war on Shiyun. I am not a mortal. Shiyun gathered divine power in his right hand and constructed a divine sword. This power, are you also a god? But why haven't I seen you before? It's not important. What's important is that if you don't make the first move, you won't have a chance. Haha, arrogant. I am the strongest and I will break all obstacles. For the glorious victory. Sword, kill all the evil people. Veleslana raised the golden sword and rushed towards Shiyun, ready to chop him off. Shiyun's body flashed, and when he appeared again, he was already in front of Veleslana. The divine sword shone with white light and slashed across. Veleslana didn't even react. He only saw Shiyun's figure flashing in front of him, like a moment of stillness, with a slight fluctuation in the middle. In Erika's eyes, let alone seeing the figure who made the move, she only knew that Shiyun teleported to the back of Veleslana, as if he had done nothing, and she didn't even know whether he had made a move. Then Erika saw Veleslana suddenly stop and look back at Shiyun in disbelief. Veleslana was speechless. Did the defeat he had always wanted come so unexpectedly? He came here to experience the fun of fighting and the passionate fighting, not like this, without feeling anything. He was stabbed by a sword. What is this? He is a great god of war, a representative of victory, but he lost so miserably. If he goes back to the god's domain, he will probably be laughed to death. What's wrong? Shiyun put away his sword and looked back. You won. Veleslana looked melancholy. The feeling of losing is so empty. Erika widened her eyes and glanced back and forth between Shiyun and Veleslana. So, did she miss something? It was just a change of position, right? Erika was puzzled, but soon, changes appeared on Veleslana's body. It seemed that someone had slashed his chest with a sword, and he was almost cut in half. Veleslana's body began to disappear, and the divine power on his body began to dissipate and return to the earth. You won, enjoy your spoils. Veleslana waved goodbye. Although the process was boring, the result satisfied his wish to come to the world, and he successfully obtained a defeat. One defeat, a lifetime. Shiyun, Lord Shiyun, you killed the god of disobedience. Erika didn't react until Veleslana completely disappeared. The new god slayer, the seventh demon king, was born. And it was witnessed by her own eyes. Oh my god, what an exciting moment. See. Well, it's very simple. Shiyun was not very excited. In his opinion, the average strength of these gods of disobedience is about the 4th level of the surface level, which can easily destroy a country and cause serious destruction to the earth. But that's all. After all, he already has the strength of the 1st level. Unless you come with a god who can cross multi-universe, then Shiyun will probably upgrade first and then come here. Ding, congratulations to the host, kill the god of disobedience Veleslana, and get 50,000 experience points. The experience points are so high. One god of disobedience has 50,000 experience points. If there are a few more, Shiyun will be able to upgrade to the 7th level single universe. In fact, not only the god of disobedience, but also other god slayers should have almost the same experience points. Buzz. At this moment, a dark space door appeared in front of Shiyun. Master Shiyun, be careful. Erika reminded. It's okay, I'll go. Shiyun knew that this was the door to the netherworld. After entering, he could complete the god slayer's reincarnation ritual, obtain the power of God and a body comparable to God. Shiyun stepped into the space door, and as soon as he entered, he was hugged by Mengli with twin ponytails. Ah, my child, mommy hugs me. Shiyun was speechless for a while, and pointed her finger at Pandora's forehead, and she pushed away. Don't get so close to me, and you'd better change your name. Huh, why? Everyone who successfully kills a god is my child. Pandora pouted, a little aggrieved. But you are the most special one so far. You can easily kill the god of disobedience, and you are not injured. Those who came here before were almost dying. Pandora hugged Shiyun's hand, raised her head, and looked at him with interest. Because I am better than them. Yeah, can we start the ceremony? You still know the ceremony? Pandora said in surprise. You should know that I am not from this world. Quote. Yes, but what's the problem? As long as you kill the disobedient god, you can get a reward, but this is the first time that a god has obtained the power of a god. Pandora was shocked to feel the rich divine power that did not belong to this world from Shi Yun, but considering that Shi Yun was a god from another world after all, it was not surprising. My god system is different from yours. You are gods in mythology, and I create mythology myself. The gods in the world of the God Slayer exist because of mythology. If the content of the mythology changes over a long period of time, the names and powers of the corresponding gods will also change. And Shi Yun's god system is the kingdom of God system. If Shi Yun does not count the system with unlimited upgrades, then according to its upgrade route, it is necessary to constantly collect faith, improve the scope and quality of the kingdom of God, and advance to a higher level of gods. So Shi Yun does not need to rely on mythology to exist. It is indeed different. Okay, my child, come to the beginning of the ceremony, you will obtain the power of God Veleslana. After Shi Yun came out of the netherworld, he had already obtained the power of the god of war, the 10 incarnations, strong wind, bull, white horse, camel, pig, boy, phoenix, sheep, goat, and human warrior holding a golden sword. For Shi Yun, this power only increased his moves against the enemy, but the powerful curse power he obtained allowed Shi Yun to integrate his own divine power without upgrading, and increased the amount of divine power by a large margin. It was an unexpected surprise. As soon as Shi Yun came out, Erica hurried forward. Shi Wu, King, welcome back. I became your king. Yes, every adult who becomes a god slayer is a demon king, standing at the top of the world immediately, and you are the 7th new king. Erica said respectfully. Well, it seems someone is coming. Quote. Shi Yun looked at the street in the distance. It should be someone from the Magic Society. Erica showed a complicated look on her face. What's wrong, Your Majesty? I am a great knight affiliated with the European Magic Society, Red Copper Black Cross. Quote. So what? Please accept my loyalty, Your Majesty. Erica took out her beloved sword, then knelt on one knee, holding the sword in both hands, and performed the knight's salute of loyalty. Loyalty to me. I remember that the king that the European Magic Society pledged allegiance to was the Sword King, Salvatore Toni, right? Didn't you become his knight? Shi Yun had read the God Killer comics, so her memory was quite clear. Yes, but you are even more powerful than the Sword King. So I chose you. Erica had just seen Shi Yun kill the god of disobedience with one sword, and what about the Sword King? He became the God Killer by chance. It's so good. Definitely, the Sword King's swordsmanship was also superb, but compared with Shi Yun, Erica felt that it was completely a world of difference. So who to choose to be loyal to? Isn't there already an answer? Erica was originally a genius, so naturally she was more jealous. And if Shi Yun accepted her loyalty, then correspondingly, the Copper Black Cross where she was would become Shi Yun's. Yun's first batch of subordinates, the treatment is naturally different. As for the Sword King, Erica believes that Shi Yun absolutely does not take him seriously. If he dares to provoke him, he will probably be killed in one sword. Okay, I accept your loyalty. Shi Yun took the sword in Erica's hand and tapped her shoulder twice. Thank you, Your Majesty. Erica was overjoyed, and the people who came over there have also arrived in front of Shi Yun. The leading man first glanced at Erica, then saluted Shi Yun. New King, I am the Commander-in-Chief of the Red Copper Black Cross, Paul Brantley. When the god of disobedience appeared here, the entire Italian Magic Society sensed it and rushed over without stopping. Then, they also saw the movement when the god of war Veleslana disappeared, so they knew very well that someone had killed the god of talent. Sword King Toni is not in Italy now, and there is no news of the other demon kings coming, which naturally means that the person who killed the gods is a newcomer. A new demon king appeared in Italy, and they ran faster. Then, Paul saw Erica and a strange young man. Seeing Erica's respectful standing posture, Paul and a group of Magic Club members clearly knew that this young man was undoubtedly the 7th God Killer. I am the Commander-in-Chief of the Bronze Black Cross. Please invite the new king to rest in my Magic Club. No need. The king will rest at our Red Bronze Black Cross headquarters. Your king, follow. Paul stood up and invited Shi Yun as well. They all wanted to win over the new king to get the new king's care. New king. Okay, Erica is now a knight loyal to me. I will go to the Copper and Black Cross first. As for you, you won't have any objection to me because I don't go to your place, right? I dare not. Who dares to do this? The last person who dared to disrespect the God Slayer had been killed by Marquis Vauban. Don't think that the God Slayer is easy to talk to and can be presumptuous. These people who stand at the top of the world are enough to punish all mortals without suffering any punishment. Therefore, the Bronze Black Cross did not have the courage to dare to have the slightest dissatisfaction with Shi Yun. Soon, Shi Yun and Erica arrived at the headquarters of the Magic Society. Erica, let someone check the whereabouts of Mikal. Mikal, god of the sky, god of the storm. That's right, Veleslana should have been fighting with him before, so the 10 incarnations were dispersed. You go find his whereabouts and tell me. Are you going to kill the gods? Otherwise, why should I look for him? Yes, I will give the order immediately, Erica said and left quickly. Shi Yun sat in a comfortable chair and checked his gains. The 10 avatars can enhance Shi Yun's moves against the enemy from all aspects, but each avatar cannot appear at the same time, but it can be superimposed on other moves. For example, if the white horse is superimposed on the golden sword, Sui Yun can also try to add the avatar layer to his own sword of replenishment. At present, Shi Yun plans to obtain more powers to increase the divine power in his body and gain experience points to upgrade. Perhaps, Shi Yun can also let people in the group come here to upgrade. For example, Fubuki and Tornado, who are almost at the 5th level, and Yatsuya Miko, Busuji Maseko, Kanae, and Shinobu, who have reached the 4th level, may also become god slayers with their strength. It seems that the number of disobedient gods who descended is not too many. Not to mention Shi Yun is waiting, even Marquis Vauban and Sword King Tony are looking forward to it. If it weren't for the fact that Veleslana happened to appear in Italy and was solved by Shi Yun, the other god slayers who got the news would probably rush over immediately to kill the god of war and obtain power. It seems that it's not a good idea to treat this world as a copy. It's better to use the dead body and Kabani. Your Majesty, do you need to rest? Erica walked in. Where to go? Your Majesty, if you don't mind, you can go to my manor. Okay. Shi Yun stepped forward to hold Erica's waist and teleported into the air. Where? There. Erica pressed tightly against Shi Yun's chest and pointed at her manor, and Shi Yun teleported there immediately. This shouldn't be the power of the god of war, right? Erica didn't remember Veleslana had the ability to teleport. This is mine. Quote, awesome, as expected of Lord Shi Yun. Your Majesty, I'll go arrange for someone to prepare food. Erica ran away. Shi Yun had to wait for news from Mikal, so he didn't plan to go back to the Marvel world for the time being. Anyway, there was nothing big going on there. After dinner, Shi Yun was invited into a newly tidied bedroom, which was, well, luxurious. Click. After a while, Erica, wearing only a white nightgown, walked in. Her cheeks were flushed, and she stood at the door with her hands holding the hem of her skirt. As a knight, do you still have this duty? No, I volunteered to serve the king. Okay, I accept. Yes, for the first time, Shi Yun experienced what it meant to have everything he wanted. Because of his stay, Paul immediately arranged for many maids to serve Shi Yun, as well as several top chefs. Starting from the morning, he could eat rare delicacies, which made Shi Yun very happy. Just as he was enjoying his life, Sword King Tony heard that a new god slayer had appeared in the territory he ruled, and immediately rushed back and headed towards Italy, eager to compete with the new king. At the same time, he was very regretful. Why did the god of disobedience come just when he was out? Otherwise, the trophy would be his. Other god slayers also learned the news, and Woban also felt it was a pity that he lost an opportunity to gain new power. However, although he was warlike, he was not as impatient as Tony, so he did not come to find Shi Sang. As for Luo Hao, who was far away in the eastern continent and lived in seclusion in Mount Lu, he was just a little surprised by Shi 440 Yun's name. It sounded like an oriental name. Master, shouldn't we try to win over the new king who just became the god slayer? He must be from the east. If he is willing to cooperate with us, then Marquis Woban will definitely not be his opponent. Luo Hao's disciple Lu Yinghua knelt on one knee outside a thatched cottage, lowering his head to pass on the latest news to the master inside. Shi Yun, let's check it out first. Luo Hao, whose voice was cold, but you could tell it was a beauty at first glance, did not plan to contact Shi Yun for the time being. Yes, Lu Yinghua took the order and left. Shi Yun, Even if you can help me defeat Vauban, what can you do? When will this boring life end? Luo Hao sighed. She has lived for more than 200 years, and there is almost nothing in reality that can interest her, otherwise, she would not live in seclusion in this Lucian mountain. Even if the god of disobedience appears, she will not go there unless she is close. In this world, the only one who can rival him is the Marquis of Vauban, who has also lived for a long time and has the most power. As for Tony, his swordsmanship is only similar to hers, and as for other aspects, he is even more vulnerable. She is almost invincible and very bored. Want to end your boring life? Then do you want to trade with me? Who is it? Luo Hao's delicate eyebrows jumped slightly, and this voice appeared directly in her mind, a bit like the god's telekinesis, which is quite interesting. I am the she you just talked about, Yun, the 7th crown god class. Is it you? You are not in Italy. You can actually talk to me from such a long distance. It seems that your strength is very extraordinary. Fortunately, I can not only talk to you, but also hear the voices of other worlds. Other worlds? Yes, all the heavens and the worlds. Are you interested? This should be enough for you to get rid of loneliness. You mean, you can let me go to other worlds? What's the price? I am the god of transaction, and I can fulfill other people's wishes within my ability. Italy, Erica Manor living room. Shi Yun held a cup in one hand, drinking milk tea, and talking to Luo Hao thousands of miles away. Being able to hear Luo Hao's voice is also a pleasant surprise. The news of Mikhail has not been transmitted yet. Perhaps he is recovering the power lost in the battle with Veleslana, so she has nothing to do. Yun then opened the sound of prayer seat, listen to the voice of the world every day. Coincidentally, he heard someone calling his name, so he looked over and found that it was Luo Hao, one of the god slayers. From what she said, because she had lived too long, she had lost the passion for life and wanted to have some fun, so Shi Yun proposed to make a deal with her. God of trade, are you a god? Yes, I am not from this world. I just came here to complete the deal because I heard someone calling for help, and then I killed a disobedient god by the way and gained power. What world can you let me go to? There are 9 worlds that can be visited now. Except for 1 or 2 daily worlds, the rest are worlds where you can fight. In addition, with your current strength, you will be almost invincible if you go there. What does invincibility mean? If you want to challenge the strong, there are naturally, but you are not the opponent. What about you? How strong are you? Stronger than you. Okay, I'll trade. What do you want? When Luo Hao heard this, she was immediately moved. She wanted to see what confidence this god of trade had to say such a thing. In addition, she was also looking forward to the strong people in other worlds and wanted to compete with them. You become my dependent. Dependent, similar to a subordinate god. That's right, I agree. When will you come over? Now, Shi Yun appeared in front of Luo Hao and looked down at the girl who was sitting cross-legged on the mat. She looked only 17 or 18 years old, wearing a white hanfu, and had a peerless face. Such a girl has actually lived for more than 200 years. She is a veritable Tianshan Tonglao. Kr. Luo Hao didn't react at first. This person was clearly in Italy, but in the blink of an eye, he crossed the space and appeared in front of her accurately. Luo Hao couldn't help but believe in Shi Yun's strength. Don't be surprised. I will appear in front of anyone who wants to make a deal with me. Ding. Luo Hao initiated a deal. Trading object, Luo Hao. Trading content, crossing the world. Trading conditions, becoming a dependent. Do you agree? Agree. After the deal was established, Shi Yun spoke again. What do you mean? Do you want me to take you to other worlds first, or do you want to fight me? Fight. I want to see your strength. Luo Hao stood up, staring at Shi Yun with fiery eyes. She was in the mood. Okay, I'll wait for you outside. Shi Yun teleported away and appeared in the air outside. Luo Hao flashed, pushed open the door and flew out. He landed lightly on a tree, his toes stepping on the green leaves, looking at Shi Yun who was hovering in the air. Can you fly? Definitely. Very powerful. Then I'll start. Luo Hao accumulated the tremendous true energy in his body and directly showed his signature martial arts to Shi Yun, the 12 palms of the flying phoenix. The power obtained by the God Slayer is called magic or spell power in the West, and it is called true energy in the East. Once the 12 palms of the flying phoenix was launched, the airflow of the entire Lushan mountain was affected by the palm wind. When the palm fell, the ground shook and the rocks broke. Shi Yun faced the continuous offensive, launched the divine power, and built a defensive force, like a reef in the sea, facing the storm, the mountain roar and the tsunami. He remained unmoved. What happened? It was the leader who took action. Did the god of disobedience descend? Why didn't we feel anything? Don't get close to this might. You'll die. At the foot of Mount Lu, at the Five Hells Holy Sect's main altar, everyone was shocked by the violent fluctuations of the aura above Mount Lu. This is the strength of their leader, the martial arts king of Zhongnan, leader Luo Hao, who has been firmly on the throne of the martial arts world for hundreds of years. 30% of the martial arts and alchemists who have learned Chinese skills have come here and sworn to obey the leader absolutely. The name of the wise and brave saint leader will live as long as the heaven and earth and will never be destroyed. The saint leader is absolutely invincible. Boom. Under Luo Hao's 12 flying phoenix palms, Mount Lu continued to tremble, like an earthquake. Luo under such a powerful attack, Shi Yun remained unscathed in the air, and even the defensive position could not break through it. Seeing this scene, Luo Hao became more and more interested in Shi Yun. Facing her martial arts, she could not move at all, which was already many times stronger than Marquis Mobin. Very powerful, but this is just the beginning. You continue. HMPH. General's order. Men should be self-reliant. This is the power that Luo Hao usurped by defeating the Maitreya Buddha of the Eastern White Lotus sect. Under the order of the God Slayer, all those who participated in the martial arts training will be blessed, and Luo Hao will also be blessed. Luo Hao began to use the power, and there is more than one. Fight in the south of the city, die in the north of the city, and the dead in the wild cannot be eaten by crows. Call me Crow. Look at me as a guest hero. The great power of Vajra. Luo Hao defeated the two Buddhist benevolent kings, Miji Vajra, and Niloyana Solid King, who were in the Ahum pair and usurped the power. He placed the power of the Vajra warrior on his body and gained unparalleled strength. The sky is clear, the earth is peaceful, and the people are empty and peaceful. Last year, we fought at the source of Sangan, and this year, we fought at the Kong River. Wash the soldiers on the waves of Tiaoji Sea, and let the horses go to the snowy grass of Tianshan Mountain. The long march of thousands of miles to fight and defend. This is the power that Luo Hao usurped by defeating the goddess of chanting, Gayatri, in Indian mythology, the dragon roar and tiger roaring method. The sound and breath are exhaled as ultrasonic wind to generate the power of the spur wave. The longer the chanting time, the greater the destructive power. At the least, it will produce a shockwave of large vehicle collision, and at the worst, it can form a violent typhoon that destroys everything. For example, at that moment, under the combined power of Luo Hao's general order and the Vajra divine art, all the trees in the forest under the feet of the natives were knocked down by the hurricane. Even the white clouds over the entire Lushan mountain were blown away and turned into a clear sky. Not to mention the main altar under Lushan mountain, the roof and the flags were all blown away, even those disciples almost flew up without paying attention. The powerful attack even affected the outside of Lushan mountain. Who did the leader meet? If this goes on, the main altar will be destroyed. Big brother, do you know the situation up there? I don't know. It was fine when I went down the mountain. Lu Yinghua used his power to resist the raging wind, with a solemn expression on his face, because he found that his master seemed to be firing at full power. What kind of enemy did he encounter that even the master had to use all his strength? Could it be that Marquis Woban attacked? But he didn't see the opponent using power. Let alone power, Lu Yinghua didn't even have a trace of unfamiliar spell power perception. You can't say that his master is in a bad mood and is angry, right? On the mountain, Luo Hao was even more surprised when he saw that he had been chanting the words for most of the day and used the dragon roar and tiger roaring technique to a very high level, but still failed to break the shield on Shi Yun. What is this? Absolute defense. At least it is certain that this is not the power obtained after defeating the god of disobedience. The god of disobedience killed by Shi Yun is the eastern god of war, Valslana, and the power obtained is the 10 avatars. This matter has spread to all the god slayers. I am not online anymore. Then there is only one possibility, this is Shi Yun's original ability. The power of God. Luo Hao stopped the dragon roar and tiger roaring technique and used other moves. Vajra warrior appears. As Luo Hao shouted, two 20-meter tall Vajrapani appeared behind her. In the original work, the Vajrapani could easily lift and knock away the wild boar incarnation of Kusanagi Godu with one arm, which was enough to block the sun flames of the white horse. At this moment, they clenched their fists and punched Shi Yun in the air, one on the left and one on the right, as if they wanted to flatten Shi Yun and beat him into a meat pie. Boom! The strong airflow swept around, but it still failed to break Shi Yun's defense. This made Luo Hao very depressed. She used all her strength, but even her defense was broken. No wonder he could kill the disobedient god with one sword. For him, perhaps even if 6 god slayers like him came, they would not be his opponents. Luo Hao couldn't help but become more interested in the other worlds that Shi Yun mentioned. After all, Luo Hao was a militant in his bones. Although he lived in seclusion in Mount Lushan and avoided the world, it was just that there was nothing interesting that could attract her. This is the last move, the divine sword is unparalleled. Luo Hao took out a long sword, moved his body, and his superb lightness made Luo Hao like an invisible shadow. In the blink of an eye, he came to Shi Yun and stabbed him with 10 swords. Not bad. Shi Yun stood in the protective shield and nodded in admiration. With Luo Hao's strength, there are indeed few in this world of god slayers. But he is still much worse than him. You don't make a single move. You look down on me so much. Luo Hao was very dissatisfied and stared at Shi Yun. I'm afraid that if I make a move, you will lose directly. Then let's try it. Okay. Shi Yun smiled and directly activated the time pupil technique of the eternal kaleidoscope to slow down the time on Luo Yan. In Uchiha Azumi's kaleidoscope, the time pupil technique can only slow down the enemy's time flow, and it can only be in place for 3 seconds. But here in Shi Yun, it is enough to stop the enemy's time and have a pause effect, and there is no time limit unless Shi Yun's divine power is exhausted. Luo Hao felt that her body had undergone 943 changes, as if everything had slowed down, even her thoughts and consciousness, and the flow of her mantra power had slowed down. Then, she saw Shi Yun cancel the protective shield around her. Obviously, if she did not stop, her attack or the fist of the Vajra warrior would continue to hit Shi Yun. But she was surprised to find that these attacks had slowed down. She seemed to be trapped in some kind of law, her body was stuck in a quagmire, her movements became slower and slower, her thinking became slower and slower, as if she would stop completely soon. Time. Luo Hao reacted. Shi Yun could actually control time. Sure enough, as Shi Yun said, if he attacked directly, Luo Hao would have no chance to fight back. This ability is almost a bug. Let alone her, even if the god of disobedience met Shi Yun, it would be strange if he was not killed instantly by a sword. But Luo Hao misunderstood Shi Yun here. She thought Shi Yun also relied on time stopping to kill Veleslana, but at that time Shi Yun only relied on instant movement and the annihilation energy that could melt everything in the world. Luo Hao watched Shi Yun come to her, then came up and kissed her gently on her cherry lips. Luo Hao. Shi Yun looked at Luo Hao's fair face curiously, and because of this kiss, it slowly turned red. Shi Yun dodged to the side and released the pupil technique before Luo Hao was completely stopped by time. Boom. As soon as it was released, the fists of the 2 Vajra warriors collided fiercely, making a deafening sound. Luo Hao had already realized the effect of time, so at the moment of recovery, he turned his wrist and slashed the mountain next to him with his long sword, directly cutting off the top of the mountain, then turned around and glared at Shi Yun. How dare you be frivolous with me? Luo Hao has lived for more than 200 years, with a pure heart and few desires, and has never been concerned about matters between men and women. Before becoming the leader of the martial arts world and the god killer, he was in a chaotic world, so where would he have time to talk about love? Therefore, no matter how the world changes, how science and technology develop rapidly, or how men and women are no longer on guard as before, Luo Hao is still the girl who was very conservative about matters between men and women 200 years ago. Either don't marry, or after meeting the person you love, leave your pure body in the bridal chamber on the night of marriage. But maybe because Luo Hao has been obsessed with cultivation until he became invincible, he no longer has those worldly thoughts, or maybe because after so long, no man has appeared that can catch her eye, so Luo Hao has remained single. But she never expected. She has become a godslayer and invincible, but she was actually taken advantage of. If she could not beat Shi Yun, she would definitely cut Shi Yun into pieces. Don't forget, in addition to the titles of Zhongnan Martial Arts King, Five Hells Holy Church Leader, and God-Killing Demon King, Luo Hao also has the title of the Most Vicious Demon. Even Marquis Woban is slightly inferior to Luo Hao in this respect. Her reputation was earned by stepping on mountains of corpses and seas of blood, step by step every day. Compared with her cute and peerless beauty, it is completely two extremes. It is said that anyone who sees her appearance must destroy their own eyes. So, Luo Hao did not take action, completely succumbing to Shi Yun's powerful strength. It's all because of Luo Zhaoju's beauty that I can't help myself. Humph, just know that this Zhaoju is the best in the world. I'll let you go this time. Rather than saying that Luo Hao is a bit narcissistic, it's better to say that she is arrogant. Up and down. Big brother, the battle is over. Well, you guys clean up here, I'll go up the mountain to take a look. Big brother, don't you need to ask the brothers to go together? If the opponent is another god-killing demon king, you will just sacrifice in vain. If it is the god of disobedience, I believe that master has already dealt with the opponent. Lu Yinghua's voice came from afar, and his figure could no longer be seen. Big brother's Qinggong is really amazing. Yes, you are worthy of being the only disciple of the Holy Master. Okay, now you should complete the transaction between us, right? Luo Hao's face returned to normal, and his tone returned to the cool and clear tone before. Definitely. Ding, congratulations to the host, the transaction is completed, and the dependent is obtained. Luo Hao, current dependent, 20. System, add Luo Qing to the chat group. Ding, congratulations on the new member joining the group chat. Nami, a new member is here, hello. Yotani Miko, hello, new member. Kanae Kocho, hiss, something is wrong. How come this new member is only at the 4th level? Blizzard of Hell, 4th level right after he came in. Did Lord Shi Yun grant him the ability? My Sakurajima, so strong. Luo Hao looked at the chat group that suddenly appeared and frowned and asked, what is this? Shi Yun explained, this is my after-sales group. It contains people I have traded with, and they are from all over the world. If you want to go to a different world, you can ask them to invite you. In addition, you are already my follower, and the experience bar is also open. As long as you kill the enemy, you can gain experience and continue to upgrade. Upgrade, yes, you can click on your name, where you can find your personal panel and strength introduction. You can go to the family document in the group file for an introduction. Luo Hao followed Shi Yun's method, and with a thought, he clicked on his own panel. Personal panel. Name, Luo Hao. Occupation, God Killer. Level, Level 4 Surface Level. Ability, 12 God Palms of Flying Phoenix, Earth Shrinking Method Divine Footpass, 8 Desolations and 6 Directions Only I am the Supreme Power, God Killing Power, etc. Granted. None. Luo Hao frowned slightly. Level 4. What level are you now? Level 6. 2 levels higher than me, no wonder. Luo Hao understood. It seems normal that she can't beat Shi Yun. And, according to Luo Hao's own strength, the other god slayers and the gods of disobedience who descended are also around this level. And what about the upgrade that Shi Yun just mentioned? Luo Hao clicked on the file, found the family document, clicked on it and read it. After reading it, he was shocked. I can also upgrade and become stronger in the future. XTO. Great. Is there a limit to the types of monsters killed? As long as they are your enemies, you can earn experience points, including gods of disobedience, god slayers, monsters from other worlds, etc. I know. You can chat with group members and go to their worlds. Okay. By the way, what is that gift? Can you give your family different abilities? Luo Hao asked curiously. Yes, what do you want? Divine power, power of reading, or a strong template? As the ability you just used to stop time, okay? Yes. Quote, you really want to give it to me? This is time. Luo Hao was shocked. Has he always been so generous? I can give you the ability to control time, but how much effect you can exert depends on yourself. Shi Yun said as he took out the time pupil technique from the eternal kaleidoscope and gave it to Luo Hao. After receiving the gift, Luo Hao's eyes changed for a while. She could clearly feel the ability in her eyes, time acceleration and time deceleration. In addition, she found that her dynamic vision had also become stronger. These eyes have many uses, you can experience them slowly by yourself. Someone is coming down the mountain, I'm leaving first. Quote. Shi Yun glanced at the mountain road below and said hello, move back to Italy. Luo Hao also returned to his thatched cottage and closed the door. Even if he was her direct disciple, Luo Hao didn't want to see him. Lu Yinghua came to the waterfall, looked at the situation not far away, and took a breath of cold air. The entire Lushan mountain, except for a part at the foot of the mountain and the mountain on the side of the thatched cottage, the other side has now become completely bare. It's as if a mudslide suddenly broke out, and the loess rolled up, covering the green trees. There is also a mountain next to it, which has lost its top. This is just here, the situation under the mountain is even worse. Fortunately, their headquarters is close to the direction of the thatched cottage, so although it was ravaged by the typhoon, it was not buried by the mud falling from the mountain. But what makes him wonder is why there are only traces of his master's actions. What about the other one? Quote. Master, yes. May I ask what happened here just now? Are there any enemies coming? Shi Yun came and exchanged ideas with me. Quote. Shi Yun, the new king. Lu Yinghua was shocked. He hadn't even had time to find out Shi Yun's past information, but he had already come to find the master. Congratulations, master. I believe that after this battle, Shi Yun should be convinced of Li Jiao. Convinced? Yeah, didn't he lose? Who told you that he lost? It was this leader who lost. Quote. How is it possible? Lu Yinghua was so shocked that his voice became sharp. In his eyes, Shi Yun had just killed a god, and even if he had 10 incarnations of the power he had obtained, it did not mean that he had 10 powers. And what about his master? He had become a godslayer more than 200 years ago. Not to mention that his master's martial arts were comparable to the power of a god, he had more than one power. He, a new king, actually beat his master. Don't be surprised, Shi Yun came from the other world, he was originally a god, killing a god was just an accident, it was normal for him to beat me. Otherworld, that's it. Lu Yinghua nodded, and he said, how could there be someone more powerful than his master in this world? The Marquis of Woban was only equal to his master because of his many powers. If his master had not practiced in seclusion and lived in seclusion for the past 200 years, but had gone out to kill gods, he would have surpassed that old wolf long ago. In the chat group, Luo Hao, hello, my name is Luo Hao, and I am a godslayer. Kanae Butterfly, I just wanted to complain, isn't your profession not very friendly to the group owner? Satonia, yes, the group owner is a god, are you going to kill the group owner? Vinay, Satonia, don't add fuel to the fire. Nameless, have god slayers really killed gods? Luo Hao, of course. Noki Gao, Doff, Tornado of Trembling, then why are you only at level 4? Group owner Shi Yun, this is just the rule of Luo Hao's world. In her world, there are often disobedient gods coming to the world and destroying the earth. Therefore, in order to deal with these gods, there is a mother goddess who protects the earth, who created an opportunity for mortals to kill gods, thereby gaining the power of gods, becoming god slayers, and protecting the earth. Group owner Shi Yun, the strength of these disobedient gods is generally around level 4. After killing gods, the god slayers who gain power are also at this level. Luo Hao, Shi Yun is right. I didn't expect you to know so much about the world I live in. Kanae Kocho, hiss. The combat power of this world is so high. It's comparable to the world of Fubuki. Fubuki of hell, in that case, I can also go to Luo Hao's world and become a godslayer. Group leader Shi Yun, the time and place of the arrival of the 370 disobedient gods are relatively random. Not to mention that there are 6 god slayers waiting to kill gods in Luo Hao's world, including her. Even if you go there and find that the disobedient gods have arrived, you will definitely not be able to catch up. Nami, as the disobedient god so popular. Fubuki of hell, forget it. Quote. Luo Hao sat cross-legged, watching the people chatting in the group, and found it very interesting. Luo Hao, at Hell's Blizzard, are there many strong people in your world? Luo Hao looked at the level of each of them and found that only Blizzard and Tornado were the highest, already at level 5. Judging from their names, they should be from the same world. Hell's blizzard, before you came, you should have been the highest. Luo, how can I go to your world to take a look? I'm too bored, I want to find a strider to spar with. Hell's blizzard, you don't upgrade. Luo, how, let it go, take your time. Hell's blizzard, okay, I agree that you come to my world, spar with me, okay. I also want to see the power of the gods over there. Luo Hao, definitely. Hell's blizzard, I invited you. Shi Yun saw that Luo Hao had integrated smoothly and didn't say anything, say. Erica walked in. My king. Found it. Yes, Yukar appeared on the beach. Well, I'll go and see. By the way, the King of Swords is said to have returned, but I don't know where he is now. He may challenge you. It's okay. Shi Yun teleported away. For him, whether it was the King of Swords or the Marquis of Vauban, they were all opponents that could be killed in 1 second with one sword. There was no need to take them seriously. Beach. Compared to Veleslana's youthful image, Yukar was a giant. He was tall and burly in the mountains, just like his name, the King of God, a great warrior, the strongest hunter who slays dragons. In Christian culture, he is also the devil of gluttony, one of the 7 deadly sins. Milton's Paradise Lost portrays him as a devil on par with God, also the devil King Beelzebub, the Dark Emperor Baal, the head of the 72 pillars Mephisto. Mikal is a nation that worships water as a sacred existence. He is the god of storms, the god of the sea, the god of the sun, and the god of life in charge of harvest and waste. He has 2 divine tools. The pursuer is the symbol of wind, and the exile is the symbol of lightning. Are you the god killer who killed Veleslana and took his power? Mikal's voice was like thunder, deafening. It's me. Very good. I was going to find you, but you came to my door yourself. You snatched my opponent away, then you will be my opponent. I hope your sword gold is as sharp as Veleslana's golden sword. Okay, come. Shi Yun stopped in the air, nodded, and signaled him to make the first move. Arrogant and arrogant. Human. Do you look down on us gods so much? Mikal saw that Shi Yun was not prepared for any action and had many flaws, and he was immediately angry, thinking that he was despised. I am not. BBR. I look down on all of you gods equally, take action, or you will have no chance. Looking for death. Pursuers, exiles, Baal the Cloud Rider, is calling you. Mikal chanted the words, raised the divine tools in his hands with both hands, and called for hurricanes and lightning. Come out, pursuers and exiles. Hurry up and play with the gods. The divine tools in Mikal's hands automatically flew up and aimed at Shi Yun. Invisible winds entangled the pursuers, and bright lightning flashed on the exiles. Wind, rain, thunder. I, Mercator, call you by my rightful name, Bald-Hatted. Storm, respond to the call of the Cloud Rider and come quickly. And, as Mikal chanted the 3rd word, his tall and strong body suddenly dispersed and turned into wind and lightning. Together with the 2 divine tools, they turned into hundreds of lightning bolts that shot out from all directions of 360 degrees, attacking Shi Yun. This time I will plunder all your powers. After killing the disobedient god and performing the reincarnation ritual, you can only randomly obtain one of the opponent's powers, but if you use the ability, Plunder, you can obtain all the opponent's abilities, naturally including all of Mikal's abilities. Last time when he dealt with Veleslana, Shi Yun forgot this thing, but this time he remembered it on purpose. Facing Mikal, who turned into invisible wind and lightning, Shi Yun tried to use his power. He superimposed the white horse that brought the sun's flames with his own divine sword and launched the moves in the original book, 1,000 lights and 1,000 swords. O Mizra, the Lord of the glorious sun, O the praiseworthy one. In order to conquer all enemies, please give me the strongest light and 1,000 swords. The divine sword was suspended in the sky, split into thousands, and each sword was covered with annihilation energy. Then, before Mikal's attack came, countless light-speed thousands of sword rains were shot out, which even the speed of God could not avoid. The power of the storm and the flashing thunder were annihilated and disappeared in the sword rain, and even Mikal's 2 divine tools were cut off and fell by the sword rain. Mikal's attack disappeared, the sea and the sky returned to calm, the clouds dispersed, and the sun reappeared. Mikal gathered his body and looked at Shi Yun with a complicated expression. You are much stronger than Veleslana, you win. Take everything I have. After saying this, Mikal turned into a golden fragment and returned to the immortal realm of the ministers. Ding! Congratulations to the host, you have killed the disobedient god Mikal and plundered all his abilities. Mikal's power. Roar of the sky, possessing the power to control the sky, which can be exchanged for storms, rainstorms, lightning, and other natural disasters. Dragon Slayer, the majesty of 10 mountains, the power of 100 rivers, and the strength of 1,000 dragons. Harvest Day makes plants grow and reproduce faster and bear fruit. Giant posture transformed into a huge 100 meters tall, the giant has a powerful and unrivaled power. Divine tools. Chaser, storm, exile, lightning. Ding! Congratulations to the host, for killing the disobedient god Mikal and gaining 5,000 experience points. 100,000 experience points. System, check the panel. Ding! The trading system panel of the gods in all realms has been opened. Name, Shi Yun. Race, God. Level 6 level Godfather. 80, 5100ths, 0000. Dependence, 20. Servants of God, 2. Power, 1. Trading, 2. Praying, 3. Annihilation, 4. Immortality. Rewards, 1. Space-time gate, 2. Trading after sales chat group. 3. Plunder, 4. Integrate, 5. Grant, 6. Dependence. 7. Crossing, 8. God's domain. Ability. Flower breath, angel halo, psychokinesis, deep sea power, Satan's flame, psychic power, overlord of the universe. Teleportation, ice hell, magnetic control, eternal Mangekyo Sharingan Amaterasu, Tsukuyomi, Koto Amatsukami, Kamui, time control. Veleslana power, Mikar power. Backpack, 0. My followers gave me nearly 200,000 experience points, plus the experience points of the 2 disobedient gods. I still need 195,000 to successfully upgrade. Shi Yun was very satisfied with this, he was not far from level single universe. I believe that as long as Luo Hao starts to kill monsters, the speed of obtaining the Jingli will be faster. In addition, the 2 worlds where Seiko Busujima and Ayame Shikata are located have become fixed monster spawning points. Because of the participation of other people, the safe cities in these 2 worlds have almost expanded countless times. It's almost time to cross the sea to find new prey. I have to find other worlds. Shi Yun was about to leave when he suddenly looked at the space channel that appeared on the side. Oh, I almost forgot Pandora. Although the reincarnation ceremony is not needed, let's go and have a look. Pandora felt lonely in the underworld. Dear, you are here. Mommy misses you so much. Pandora rushed over as usual and hung on Shi Yun. Okay, I'll return it. Shi Yun pushed her away. Dear, don't you like hugs? Why, don't you like mommy? Pandora looked aggrieved. If you change your self-proclaimed name, I might like you more. What do you want to change? Dear, can I hug you? Pandora pulled Shi Yun's arm and acted coquettishly. Sure enough, after shouting like this, Shi Yun's resistance was not so strong. Okay, I just came to see you. I don't need the reincarnation ceremony. Ah, how do you get it without the reincarnation ceremony? You have already obtained the power of Mikal. Pandora then discovered that something was wrong with Shi Yun. He actually exuded the aura of 2 gods of disobedience. How did Shi Yun obtain the power of Mikal without going through the reincarnation ceremony? This is my ability. As long as I want, I can plunder everything from any enemy I kill with my own hands. Everything. In other words, you have obtained not only one power of Mikal, but all of them. Pandora couldn't help but exclaimed. Yes, including the divine tools, there are a total of 5 powers. That's not right. Each god of disobedience has more than 5 powers. Huh, more than 5. What about me? Shi Yun frowned. Hehe, it's like this. After the gods of disobedience appeared in the mythology, they were based on different myths, just like Mikal. He is the god of the sky, the god of the sea, the god of storms, the god of the sun, the god of war, the god of life, and the dragon slayer. Therefore, after the manifestation, it is not the complete him, but only a part of him. The relative power is only 1 or 2 parts. So that's how it is. So, you who killed the god of disobedience can also obtain a power from Mikar through the reincarnation ritual. How about it? I am awesome. Pandora put her hands on her hips and smiled proudly. Sure enough, good luck favors me. If I don't come to see you, I will lose a power. Dear, did you come to see me on purpose? Yes, I saw that you were alone, so I came to talk to you. Woo woo woo. Dear, you are so good to me. Only you think of me. Pandora hung on Shi Yun's neck, tears streaming. Since she developed this reincarnation ritual to help humans gain power to fight against the god of disobedience, she has only met 7 people so far. Among them, the one who came here the most times was the Marquis of Vauban, but that person was so cold. Every time Pandora wanted to get close to him, she was coldly pushed away, with a cold and scary look. Others were not much better. Even the lovely Luo Hao had an expression that kept people at a distance. In contrast, Shi Yun was more suitable for being close. Although I don't like the name of mother, it's also good to use concubine. Okay, let's start the ceremony. Okay. Soon, Shi Yun passed the reincarnation ceremony and obtained another power of Makal, Earth Protection. Earth Protection. It comes from the huge vitality of the god of harvest. This power also symbolizes people's expectation of the saint. I hope he will continue to fight. The unyielding blessing from the earth, even with a near-death injury, can still fight. As long as it is not fatally injured, it can survive. Not bad. I'll see you next time I have a chance. Then you must remember to come. Pandora looked at her eagerly, full of nostalgia. Definitely. Shi Yun left the netherworld. Hey, you're out, I've been waiting for you for a long time. As soon as Shi Yun came out, someone greeted him, and he looked at him in confusion. A young man with short blonde hair was sitting on a stone not far away, with a knight's sword next to him. Salvatore Toni, an Italian young man with short blonde hair, was a true warrior among the 6 god killers who was basically uninterested in anything other than fighting. He had extraordinary swordsmanship and was the leader of the European Magic Society. You are the newcomer, right? Very powerful. I just saw it. He killed the god of disobedience in one move. What a terrible monster. So, you are waiting for me here to fight me? Definitely. The purpose of my return is you. Accept my challenge. The 7th god killer Demon King. Toni drew out the knight's sword from his waist and pointed it at Shi Yun from a distance. Okay, I'll wait for you to bless the word spirit. Shi Yun nodded and said to him. Wait for my blessing. What about you? I don't need to prepare. Haha, great. You are worthy of being the one who has seized the power of the god of war. I like this kind of confidence. Then I will start. Doni laughed loudly and then his expression became serious. Blood of the evil dragon Fafnir, grant me the destiny of immortality. Steel protection. Swear here, I will not allow anything that I cannot cut to exist. And this sword is an invincible blade that can cut and slice everything on the ground. Slashing silver arm. When Toni returned to Italy and learned that Shi Yun was at the seaside, he rushed all the way here and saw the rain of swords in the sky with his own eyes. With that kind of light-speed attack, Toni thought that if he exchanged positions with the god of disobedience, he would probably be pierced to death by thousands of arrows. So this is a powerful opponent, and he must respond with 100% attitude. O priestesses of the god of wine, call the son of God to come. Intoxicated by the violent wine of God, abandon your home and get lost in the mountains and forests. Worship our God. Divine confusion. Shi Yun suddenly felt that an inexplicable force appeared around him. If he was really a godslayer and had cursed power in his body, I believe he should have been suppressed by now. But the divine power that Shi Yun possessed was something of a higher level than the power of curse, so this power was useless to him. Is it all right? Shi Yun asked when he saw Toni stop. It's all right. I'm coming. Toni's eyes condensed, and he waved the knight's sword in his hand and was about to slash down. With his current power, this sword slash was enough to completely cut the entire Italian land. Shi Yun dodged and came behind him. Toni's heart jumped, and he turned quickly, and the long sword changed from slashing down to cutting horizontally. An ordinary punch. Shi Yun waited for a while, and when Toni turned around, he punched him in the face. Boom! Toni flew towards the sea. Because this was a pure warrior, Shi Yun did not kill him, but he had to lie in the hospital for more than 10 days. Your Majesty. Erica came over with Paul and several people from the Magic Society. Why are you here, Your Majesty? Didn't the King of Swords come? Everyone looked around in confusion. Here he is. I knocked him away. He should have fallen into the sea. I suggest you send someone to look for him now, lest he drown. Shi Yun said, and teleported away with Erica. What did the king just say? The Sword King was knocked into the sea. So fast. Why is there no aftermath of the battle? Doesn't this just prove that the new king is even more powerful than the Sword King? No. Get the boat ready. Go find the Sword King. I hope everyone will support it and subscribe more.